4 hours of our show broken down into a mere 30 minutes.
Yeah, just a little bite size. Well, first up, the president's arrival overseas to begin his foreign trip, his first since taking office, and he's got a warning to Russia's president. Ahead of their big face-to-face meeting, we are in Britain with the latest on that.
And then we're going to take you for a wild ride on Florida's newest, fastest, and tallest roller coaster.
Yeah, then, Craig, you had a chance to sit down with NBA legend Dwyane Wade about his new game away from the court. That's got to be fun.
I've been a big fan of D-Wade's for a long time. All of that, and Oscar winner Helen Hunt. She's got a new TV show coming out. You're going to want to hear all about that.
Time is running out, so let's get it started. Today in 30 starts right now. We'll start with the president's first overseas trip. It's opening this morning with a strong message of support to America's allies and a vow to stand up to adversaries, including Russia. NBC's chief White House correspondent Peter Alexander is traveling with the president. He's in the UK this morning. Peter, good morning.
Hey, Savannah, good morning to you. President Biden will be meeting with British Prime Minister Boris Johnson only a short time from now at the start of a presidential trip that is packed. 4 summits in the next 7 days. That meeting with Johnson, then the G7 summit, NATO and the EU next week before that high-stakes summit, the face-to-face with Vladimir Putin. The president tried to send the message that America is back, to show that the U.S. and Europe are tight, that democracies can deliver against a rising China and a disruptive Russia.
As some of the world's leaders arrive here in England ahead of this week's G7 summit, President Biden greeting U.S. troops in the UK and eyeing that crucial face-to-face with Russian President Vladimir Putin next week.
I'm heading to the G7 and then to meet with Mr. Putin to let him know what I want him to know.
Mr. Putin already appearing to test President Biden with new reports that a Russian court banned the political movement led by jailed opposition leader Alexei Navalny, likely with Putin's blessing. The latest in a series of disruptive moves by Russia, including the rise in ransomware attacks like those on the U.S. beef and gas supply.
The United States will respond in a robust and meaningful way when the Russian government engages in harmful activities.
Still, the president insists the U.S. is not seeking conflict with Russia.
We want a stable, predictable relationship.
But Putin is anything but predictable, and ahead of this one-on-one meeting, Republicans are slamming President Biden's approach to Putin.
What does he do to our enemies? He shows weakness, he shows appeasement, he coddles them.
Ahead of that meeting, the president's mission here to repair America's frayed relationships with its allies after 4 years of former President Trump's America First agenda. President Biden looking to enhance the special relationship with the UK and Johnson, who is friendly with Mr. Trump. Following 3 days of summit meetings, the president will be hosted Sunday at Windsor Castle by the Queen. Then in Brussels, meeting with the EU and NATO, an alliance Mr. Trump threatened to quit. And in a show of goodwill to the globe, President Biden, under pressure to do more, will announce that the U.S. will purchase 500 million doses of Pfizer's COVID vaccine to be donated to the world's lowest income nations. 500 million doses to be delivered over the next year.
President Biden, of course, has decades of foreign policy experience, and he's hoping here to parlay some of those relationships with some of these leaders for some personal diplomacy while in Europe. But given the politics back in the United States, some Europeans have some real concerns about Mr. Biden, about his durability and about whether his policies will stick. Savannah?
Personal diplomacy. You did mention the Boris Johnson meeting. Of course, the president says he wants to reaffirm our relationship with the UK, but it's complicated. There's some history there.
Yeah, you're right. They're certainly looking to fortify that relationship today. But as you say, it is complicated. As a candidate, Joe Biden said that Boris Johnson was a physical and an emotional clone of former President Trump. But on the docket today, some crucial issues, among them, one that Americans will be listening for very closely, is an effort to try to ease COVID-19 travel restrictions between the U.S. and the U.K. Savannah?
All right, Peter Alexander traveling with the president. Peter, thank you. Stick around because there is much more coming up on Today in 30.
I'm rolling up my sleeves for science, so I'll survive if I contract this virus. For family dinners, family vacations, family anything. For traveling somewhere beyond my living room. And for the rebels, There is no greater feeling than being in the stadium and cheering on Ole Miss. And now it's your turn. Roll up your sleeves, America. Plan your vaccine, because every shot counts. Visit planyourvaccine.com and make your plan.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright. Are you ready? We're going to do our part to spread the word on the importance of vaccines, so crucial for reopening America.
A big day around here, a very special naturalization ceremony.
Many of them doctors, nurses, other essential workers.
If you are a nurse, thank you.
Spring has sprung, guys, and we want to fill this season with some fun and surprises.
Yes.
This is the face of excitement.
Celebrating Earth Day.
Let's change the world.
Love it!
Congratulations to Lester Holt, the most trusted TV news anchor in America, on receiving the prestigious Edward R. Murrow Lifetime Achievement Award for a career dedicated to excellence in journalism.
What's up, everybody? I'm Kenan Thompson here at the new Velocicoaster ride here at Universal Orlando. We want you all to come to Universal and have a good time. But right now, this is Today All Day.
Okay, it's time to check in with Dylan and Carrie Sanders, who've been reunited at Universal Orlando Resort.
Yes, they made the trip for the opening of its newest attraction. It looks like so much fun, the Jurassic World Velocicoaster.
We are so looking forward to this, and they've met a friend along the way. You saw him there, SNL's Kenan Thompson.
That's right. Among other things, Kenan is an ambassador for the Let Yourself Whoa campaign at Universal. Good to see you guys.
That's right. Good to see you.
Hey, everybody. You know, I couldn't do this alone. We are here at the Jurassic Park World at Universal Orlando Resort for the opening of the Velocicoaster. It has been just a steady stream of people. They actually opened the park early so these folks can get to ride the ride, which opens today. Now, I don't want to say I planned this, but a couple years ago, during when Hagrid ride opened at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, I also happened to be pregnant. Whoops. So this time around, also pregnant, can't ride the ride. Sorry, guys.
So I'm the stand-in. Amazing. You guys know I'm never one to shy away from a challenge, but I got to be honest with you. I decided that it'd probably be best if I brought along a friend with me.
That's right.
And so Kenan joined me, or I joined Kenan.
That's right. I had to hold his hand, but at least I made a new friend out here.
Yeah,
that's what's
we were
important.
holding hands actually a little bit more.
I'm
like
just going to keep it throughout the rest of this interview. So.
But
90 degrees out here.
Exactly. But really, it's important to note that, you know, Universal Orlando Resort returning to normal is something that I think we've all been waiting for.
Absolutely.
And Velocicoaster is a great way to say we are back.
We are back, baby.
It's the sound that screams summertime fun as Universal Orlando Resort and Universal Studios Hollywood get back into the swing of things.
It's good to get out, get some sun, and be around other people.
A day at the parks filled with wizardry, up close and personal interactions.
It's awesome.
And dance parties with some of your favorite characters. You could even say it feels a little bit like home.
Welcome to 30 Rock, everyone.
The action-packed theme parks are certainly back in action. This summer, thrill seekers will come face to face with the brand new Jurassic World Velocicoaster.
Go!
Based on the iconic film, brave riders will race alongside the Velociraptor pack, catapulting to 70 miles an hour in less than 3 seconds before soaring 155 feet in the air.
So the Velocicoaster is the fastest, tallest launch coaster in Florida, and we have combined to make a new species of thrill by adding these amazing immersive elements from the Jurassic World franchise.
I knew I had to check this one off my bucket list, but I wasn't ready to ride it alone, so I called in some backup.
Carrie! Hey, guys! Hello!
Group hug, there we go.
Whoa!
Hello.
We're good. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Better you than me, my friends.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm going to go get myself some food.
Yeah.
Okay. Take care. Here we go.
Dude, are you ready for this?
Psyching myself up.
Breathe.
Yes,
We're gonna
exactly.
breathe through this. Raptors are our friends.
Have you ever been in any vehicle at all that went from 0 to 70 in 3 seconds?
Yeah, I want to say one time with my grandma.
Here we go.
Come on. Here we go. That was fantastic.
Yes.
What's up, buddy?
Hey! You did it!
We did it.
How was it?
Oh, you missed a good one. You missed a good one.
I had my hands full while you guys were gone, so you got to check out this picture.
That's called two friends having fun.
Oh, look at that!
Right now on NBC News Now.
Here in Chicago, about 20,000 middle schoolers returning to school today.
They also took advantage of existing vaccine distribution networks throughout Alaska.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright. Are you ready? We're going to do our part to spread the word on the importance of vaccines, so crucial for reopening America.
A big day around here, a very special naturalization ceremony.
Many of them doctors, nurses, other essential workers.
If you are a nurse, thank you.
Spring has sprung, guys, and we want to fill this season with some fun and surprises.
Yes.
This is the face of excitement.
Celebrating Earth Day. Let's change the world. Love it!
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright.
Are you ready? Half of all U.S. adults now fully vaccinated.
A huge lift is underway for one of the most celebrated cities in this country, Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes.
This is the greatest location in the nation.
We're having a baby.
Wow.
The big reveal is under the lid.
Hey now.
Things are looking brighter, so we want to help you find the fun in 21.
Music is back. Y'all were exactly what we needed.
Our Across America journey here in Louisville, Kentucky. Cleveland, reporting on an America rebuilding after the pandemic.
How narrow a window do you have to really get kids back where we would want them to be?
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Right now on NBC News Now.
They've done things like installing cameras to help alert Border Patrol to people crossing.
They are escaping a number of conditions there, violence and persecution in their home countries.
It does seem as if this White House doesn't want to bring a lot of high-profile attention to the issue. What efforts might depoliticize vaccine hesitancy? What happens if we don't act on police reform this year? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Dwyane Wade is a basketball legend, a 3-time NBA champion, 13-time All-Star, Olympic gold medalist. The list goes on.
And he hasn't let retirement slow him down. He's a part owner of the Utah Jazz and an executive producer and host of the new TBS game show, The Cube.
He's quite the renaissance man. Dwyane has also become quite outspoken about LGBTQ plus rights, revealing last year that his daughter Zaya is transgender. He sat down with me to talk about all of it, his family, basketball, and how the heck he ended up hosting a game show. I want to talk about the show in just a moment, but let's start with the Utah Jazz. You had quite the playoff win this week over LA. How are you feeling about the playoffs?
Well, it was an exciting night. You know, we haven't been in these territories often, so it was good for our younger team in this experience space together. And my wife got to come, to the game for the first time, and we got to enjoy being owners together.
As you probably know, one of the criticisms right now of the league is this idea that you've got about maybe 6 or 7 super teams, like the Brooklyn Nets, for instance. It doesn't make for a lot of competition during the regular season. What do you say to that?
So the NBA is our job, and whether it's from a player standpoint, from ownership standpoint, our job is to entertain, right? It's entertainment. And so, sometimes the entertainment comes all in one package together. You get KD, you get Kyrie, you get Harden, or sometimes it comes, one guy here, one guy there. So I just think we should just continue to just enjoy sports for what it is.
Let's talk about another game for a moment. This game show that you now produce and host, The Cube. I caught it. You seem like a bit of a natural, like you've done this before. Were you a fan of game shows before this?
I grew up on a show in Chicago called The Bozo Show. I don't know if a lot of people know about it, but every morning, you know about The Bozo Show, Craig?
It came on WGN.
Brother, every morning before I went to school, I looked at that show religiously, thinking that one day I will get a chance to get on that show and I'll be able to change my family's fortune. So to be in this position now, to be able to be now a host of a game show, an executive producer of one, and to be in that same position to help families be able to change not only their families, but community's fortune, man, I couldn't pass up the opportunity.
How do you describe The Cube to a stranger?
You got to beat 7 games. You get 9 lives to do so. And also you get 2 assists, one from The Cube and one from me. And you can win $250,000. And then the show outside of The Cube with the contestants is where you get a chance to know a little bit about them and understand why they're there. And those are going to be the moments that's really going to connect everyone.
You became a dad, if I'm not mistaken, at the age of 20. So you've been doing this a long time. Any advice out there for dads as we head into this Father's Day?
Good luck. I've been able to have a kid. Zaire is 19 years old. Kav is 2 years old. And I've been able to see kids in different generations at different times in different parts and places in my life. And it's helped me grow a lot. It's helped me be a better parent and be a better person because I've seen that all kids are not alike and you can't treat them as such.
Your daughter specifically, a while back, I remember reading and hearing some of the comments on social media, the way that you and your wife handled it could not have been classier. How have you navigated that part of it specifically?
Yeah, it's made me grow. I didn't know anything really. I wasn't knowledgeable at all about the LGBTQ plus community. What it has done is it opened my eyes and opened my ears to something greater and bigger than I. And my daughter has allowed us gracefully to be her support system. She's the strong one in this family. She's the hero. It's my wife. It's our family's job to make sure that we listen to her.
You have so many titles: father, husband, entrepreneur, New York Times bestselling author, executive producer, Oscar winner. I could go on and on. Of the titles you have, is there one that means more to you than the others?
Yeah, Dad. Those are the greatest words I ever hear. I want the next generation of Wades to look different, to be different, and to continue to evolve. So when I hear my kids say, Dad, man, my heart melts every single time.
What haven't you done that you want to do?
I think it's so much more, man.
What is left?
Man, Craig, I don't know. But one thing I do know, I'm going to continue to keep an open mind. I'm going to continue to walk through doors that, may be open and it may be dark and I can't see inside of them. If I trip and fall, I got a great support system to help pick me up. And if I continue to fly, I'm going to bring everybody with me.
What? Okay, I liked him before, but now I love him.
Dwyane Wade is
so great.
And he's the quintessential Renaissance man, too. Like, he's one of these guys, like, if D. Wade came in and said, I'm thinking about running for president. I was like, okay.
Sure, why not?
Be president. I'm thinking about doing, okay, yeah.
He's in a really good place.
Maybe you just gave him an idea.
He's probably already thinking about it. But The Cube, by the way, it premieres tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, over on TBS. And for much more of my conversation, we chatted for about 20, 30 minutes, you can head over to today.com.
That's good.
Check that out.
Yeah.
What's up today at 30? Craig Melvin here. So I spent some time with Dwyane Wade yesterday, and I asked him, these days, when he stopped on the street, what do people recognize him for? I mean, is it D. Wade, the legendary basketball player? Is it the game show host? Is it, Gabrielle Union's husband, Zaya's dad? And you know what he said? Not basketball anymore. No, they recognize him for everything but basketball. Crazy, right?
It does seem as if this White House doesn't want to bring a lot of high-profile attention to the issue. What efforts might depoliticize vaccine hesitancy? What happens if we don't act on police reform this year? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright.
Half of all U.S. adults now fully vaccinated.
Al is in Cleveland for our Reopening America series.
This is the greatest location in the nation.
Music is back.
Y'all were exactly what we needed.
Our week-long journey begins here in Orlando, Louisville, Kentucky, Cleveland. Our Across America journey reporting on an America rebuilding and reimagining a future after the pandemic. Breaking news tonight, the ceasefire in the Middle East after 11 days of deadly violence. Richard Engel is on the ground.
Do you think there's a connection between policing and racism? How narrow a window do you have to really get kids back where we would want them to be?
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
It has been a long year.
Yeah, where it's been anything but normal.
Well, now there's hope. The COVID vaccines.
I know. It's been a little confusing.
Like, really confusing. So it's more important than ever to make a plan. Visit planyourvaccine.com
to find out where and when to get your vaccine.
What are you waiting for? Roll up your sleeves and plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Willie, you're in Hoda's dressing room.
Oh, God, I just quick change. Yeah.
What is your favorite Helen Hunt movie?
My favorite. Oh, that's hard. There's so many good ones. I'm going As Good as It Gets. She won an Academy Award for that. She and Jack Nicholson were incredible together, but particularly her performance in that role. But also, can I throw in like a Twister for something totally different?
You can throw them all in.
I love Helen Hunt.
Love your kicks, by the way.
Thanks. Those are the classic Stan Smith. And we're ready to go. Thanks, Hoda.
Okay, we are back with the one and only Helen Hunt, who grew up in the Hollywood spotlight. Just take a look at this photo from 1975.
Wow.
And Helen played Helga Wagner in Swiss Family Robinson.
That's a classic. It's no surprise Helen would go on to become one of Hollywood's most celebrated and decorated actresses. In 1998, she won the Best Actress Oscar for her role in one of the all-time great movies, As Good as It Gets, alongside Jack Nicholson. On the small screen, in her 8 seasons on Mad About You, she earned 4 Emmys and 4 Golden Globes.
Amazing. And now the actress, writer, and director can be seen in the TV adaptation of the comedy drama Blind Spotting, where she plays the opinionated and loving mother, Rainey. Here's a sneak peek.
Hi, my love. Oh my God, that's such a big hug. You are such a tough guy.
What's up, nephew? You ready for more adventures with your Thea? Hi, Tia.
Hi,
Rainy, no,
honey.
sorry. The SIG.
Yes. I only smoke one a day. This is my one. It's the last one in the pack. You know what? Doesn't matter.
That's your second one. You had one this morning.
I absolutely did not.
You absolutely did at the kitchen table.
No, that was yesterday.
Sean, not endorsed, please.
Okay. Hi, Helen. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So Blind Spotting is a comedy, but for those that haven't seen the film, will you tell us a little bit about the television series?
Sure. It's inspired by a beautiful film made by David Diggs and Rafael Casal about 2 best friends growing up in Oakland and the effect that the criminal justice system has on the 2 of them and their friendship. And the TV series picks up from there and follows Jasmine Cephas Jones's character as she is faced with losing her partner to another arrest. And it's how that arrest affects her, their son, her mother, his mother, forgive me, and the whole neighborhood. So it's about community, it's about mass incarceration, it's somehow funny.
Yes.
There's dance and spoken word. It's really a beautiful, totally original show.
It really is.
Helen, before we go any further, I don't want to alarm you. There's a man in the shadows sitting behind you, and I just thought you should know.
There's a man that is in.
It's my publicist whose one job was to make sure there was nothing in the shot but me, and the only thing in the shot is him.
We were like, does Helen know that there's a man looking over her shoulder?
It's going to be a memorable segment when I'm strangled from behind.
For your own safety, we
yes.
thought you should know. So back.
He literally cleared every coffee cup, everything, and then he's sitting
But
there.
himself. Everything but himself in a mirror. And actually, the way it was looking did seem ominous because it was out of the mirror.
It was.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're
it was-
just
Well, we
glad
don't
you're
know what's
safe.
going to happen. Check the news later. You'll have a really good suspect right away.
We're just glad you're safe
We
for
broke
now.
the
Not a
news
perfect
here.
crime.
So Helen, back to the movie. So you, the series, you tweeted about the movie. Clearly, you were a fan of it.
Yeah.
What did you see in it?
Well, I've made independent movies, and I know how hard it is, even when they get good reviews or festivals like them, to actually get people to see them. So I enjoy using, whatever platform I have to support independent movies I love, which I did. So I tweeted about this one, and then Raphael and David tweeted back, and we DM'd, and whatever happened, next thing you know, we were having a cup of coffee saying we should work on something together. So we spent time during the pandemic out on my lawn watching movies on a cheap screen that I bought. We talked about writing a movie together, and along the way I knew they were working on this Blind Spotting TV series, and they kept making jokes about how they wanted me to be in it, and I didn't know what to say about that, because do they really, or do I want to, and would it get awkward? And then they finally called and said, no, we mean it, and I feel so lucky I got to be in it.
That's so
Don't
cool.
you love the way that things work in 2021, that a tweet can lead to this whole partnership? It's super.
Yeah, I never could have imagined that could have happened.
Okay, so Helen, as you mentioned, we've starred in so many roles. In fact, somebody before was like, what's your favorite Helen Hunt film? And I said 3 things, and I was like, wait, she was in Girls Just Want to Have Fun? That's one of my favorite movies of all time. So we're gonna show you a screenshot of one of your films, if you're willing to play along with us, and then just tells us the first thing that comes to mind, no hesitations. Okay, ready?
Okay.
First up, your Oscar award-winning performance with Jack Nicholson, As Good as It Gets. First thing that comes to mind.
How fun it was to work with him.
Okay.
Okay, the next one, a film everybody loved where you start with Bill Paxton, Twister. What comes to mind?
Boy, a lot of crap flying through the air, some of which landed in my eye. And what a pain in the ass it was to shoot, and how good the movie turned out.
Okay, you even worked with Tom Hanks in Castaway. Some may think of Wilson when they think of his love interest, but you were there first. What comes to mind?
I think Wilson was the #1 love of his life, but how fun it was to work with him, and how beautiful I thought that story was. When you find a story you've never heard before, I asked them, can I be in that? Because that sounds really cool. So it was so fun to work with him. I haven't seen that picture.
That scene near the end in the rain
Yes.
just crushes you every time.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's pretty devastating.
No.
There he is.
Not
Yeah,
about
you knew it was coming.
You knew it was coming.
You knew it was coming.
I mean, it's like looking at a picture of, I don't know, your left arm or your best friend or something. I so treasure every minute we got to work together. We're still friends. We did this reboot. If anybody misses those characters, they can go to Amazon, and there's 12 episodes of how they went through Empty Nest together. I'm super
Sweet.
proud of it.
Yeah, of course people want more of the reboot, but we'll let it lie there because we can't pressure you any more than we already have.
No, if you'd like to pay for them, we're ready to go.
Okay, NBC.
There you go. Helen,
All right,
we are
thank
such
you.
fans. A joy to talk to you. We have alerted local authorities.
Yes.
They should be outside your door at any moment.
Thanks. We'll see how the day plays out.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Blind Spotting premieres this Sunday night across all platforms of Stars. You should check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't you just love Helen Hunt, SG?
Oh, I really do. I've loved her for years. And by the way, you got to tune in for tomorrow because we have another big show. Maroon 5 is here. They've got some new music to show off for us.
Have a fantastic day, everyone. We will see you bright and early Friday morning.
They are roads less traveled these days, away from the city, where many are giving all they've got just to get by. Yet they are places where the sense of true community remains steadfast.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Like at the Conneaut Valley Elementary School in Crawford County, Pennsylvania.
Hey, class, are you ready?
How long have you been teaching here?
Since 1986.
Really?
Really.
Wow.
You got it.
35 years in the classroom for Barb Hine, delighted to be teaching first grade.
Everything is new with the kids. They discover things, and every year it seems like it's the same things. Their world is just enlightened, and the light bulbs click on, and I get to see that every day. Are you ready?
One day, about a year and a half ago, Barb's light bulb clicked on. She noticed something amiss.
On really bad weather days, we'd have recess inside. When he would get very active, he'd lose color in his face, and he'd sit down, and it was hard for him to play.
He is Harrison Connor, something of the apple of this teacher's eye.
Oh, he's an amazing little guy. He is so much fun in class. He loves to learn new things.
The epitome of first grade.
You could have 100 of him in a classroom.
Barb notified the principal and the school nurse.
Because most of the kids, they are sweating, they are dripping, their faces are beet red, they can't wait for water. And here he is, pale, sitting down, and it just wasn't right.
The nurse informed Harrison's mom that school closed for Christmas break.
You come back from Christmas break and what?
And one of these little guys from my class walks in the doorway, makes a beeline to my desk, and says, "Mrs. Hine, Harrison went on a helicopter ride to the hospital."
What was wrong?
He was diagnosed with leukemia.
With Harrison too sick to come to school, Barb made sure he didn't lose touch with his class.
I always did story after recess time, so we'd call him on the Zoom meeting, read a story, and he'd get to listen to that story and see his friends, and everybody's yelling, "Hey, Harrison." It's like he was there.
Then came the pandemic. Schools closed. But in the fall, Conneaut Valley reopened.
Good morning.
Harrison, though, was still stuck at home and often not up to cyber sessions.
Here we go.
Into that void stepped guess who?
So you're teaching first graders full time.
Yes.
And then after school, you would go to Harrison's?
Yes.
Every day?
Every day.
Classic rock blasting on the radio, Barb can't wait to get there. The 20-minute drive blows by.
The genre is
Masks, plexiglass, a shield. Protection, yes. Barriers, no.
It was a joy because I knew he wanted to learn. He couldn't wait. He was so excited. And he'd have his off days if medicine was causing him to not feel up to it. But we made it through, and he always did his best.
From time to time, the school sets up Zoom sessions for Harrison and his pals.
How you doing, bro?
Good.
The boys' goofiness tempered a bit this day, perhaps by our presence, but still plenty goofy. Harrison shares the screen with his mom, Suzanne, and little brother.
It was without hesitation that she said, "I'll teach him. I'll do it." Ever since the minute he was diagnosed, and I'm gonna get emotional, she has been absolutely amazing. It's incredibly, incredibly special.
I am loving the look on Harrison's face. That's $1 million smile right there.
We fought hard for this little face.
I think about him every day. Yeah.
He's so lucky to have you.
I'm lucky to be his teacher. I'm the lucky one.
I was there and it brings me to tears. Good news about Harrison is he's in remission. He has another year and a half
of treatment, though, before they hope he's all the way out of the woods. And about Barb Heim, at one point I said, do you feel like you helped save his life? And she said, no. She was the most reluctant person in years that I've had the opportunity to interview. Said, it's not about me. It's about how this school came together. Everybody's Harrison Strong. She goes to the second grade teacher, gets the lesson plan, goes off, teaches. If there's something amiss, somebody else in the school takes somebody else's place. It's everyone coming together to make sure this kid gets better.
I mean, Barb is extraordinary.
Right?
When you said she's been teaching there since '86, a lot of teachers who've been through a classroom for that many years don't have the exact same feeling that she has. She loves it every day.
She feels like she's never worked a day in her life. And, oh, by the way, she's getting ready to retire.
No.
I know.
When?
I know. End of this year.
Don't leave, Barb.
That was top of the heap right there.
Our week-long journey begins here in Orlando, Louisville, Kentucky, Cleveland. Our Across America journey reporting on an America rebuilding and reimagining a future after the pandemic. Breaking news tonight, the ceasefire in the Middle East after 11 days of deadly violence. Richard Engel is on the ground. Do you think there's a connection between policing and racism? How narrow a window do you have to really get kids back where we would want them to be?
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
What's about to happen on our plaza is you're all going to get your very first COVID vaccine.
I'm excited.
She's excited. 3, 2, 1,
Jam! So grateful.
Is that close to prom?
Here we go.
Welcome back this morning on Today Goes Green, the environmentally friendly hobby that has helped a lot of people through this difficult past year. Bird watching.
Yeah, who would have thought? Our own Harry Smith joined the ranks of people getting outdoors and back to nature. Hey, Harry.
Hey, we're not right in New York City right now. We're in South Salem, about an hour north of town. But one of the best places to birdwatch in all of America is New York, the concrete jungle. But in Central Park, take a look and take a listen.
We were not but a few steps into Central Park's ramble when...
This guy right here.
Yeah.
And he's a what?
White-throated sparrow.
Until that moment, I assumed all sparrows dressed alike.
So these sparrows are part of kind of the first big wave of migrants that are going to be on their way through the area. And this is a good place to see them.
We are with Cornell University ornithologist Andrew Farnsworth, a sort of Bill Nye of birds, if you will.
Did it surprise you in the last year as COVID and the pandemic took over that people, it seemed like, went crazy for birds?
It was not a surprise. This kind of situation where people want to be a part of nature, and especially in a time when there's a lot of emotional challenge and a need to reconnect with something, anything, and the connection with birds because they are beautiful, they sing, they do cool things.
Like that robin you shrewdly observe hanging around all winter. Turns out some are true frequent flyers.
There are some that are residents here, but there are also birds that migrate to New York that spend the winter. There are birds that breed here that leave New York and disappear for the winter. So even though it looks like robin is always here all the time, there's tremendous flux in this species.
Farnsworth has traveled the world, observing, studying birds. An avian ally, it seems sometimes the birds came to him.
Yeah, there it is.
That is just a great looking bird. I'm sorry. Have you seen the warbler? I'm a little high from that.
Warblers are the epitome of spring migration.
Bird watching can be mesmerizing.
Great way to engage and also disconnect both.
I like that phrase, engage and disconnect.
easy enough to see why so many recently flocked to this pastime, like Sheldon Goodrich.
What does it do for you to come out and watch?
It's peaceful. It's I mean, especially now in the spring, the sounds of the birds, sometimes just sitting and hearing the water, hearing the birds, watching the behavior, it's peaceful.
But for birds, the world is not as welcoming as it once was.
How are our friends, the birds, doing these days?
That's a good question. It does vary by species, but if we think about bird populations as a whole, in the last 50 years, there have been precipitous declines.
Birds are in fact the proverbial canary in the coal mine of the environment. The North American bird population is down by 3 billion since 1970.
If we're thinking about birds as indicators of our environment, what does 3 billion birds lost say about the challenges our ecosystems are facing around the planet?
Nearby, a massive barred owl has been perched for months.
I check her when I can, and most of the time she's there.
Isn't that something?
Oh, it's great. It's great.
As if to remind us that birds are a cherishable, but also perishable gift of nature, not to be taken for granted.
And I've been listening to a chorus of birds this morning. House wren. On cue. Could you hear it? Amazing.
Yes.
And for people who want to get into this, there are so many sites. Cornell, for instance, has this amazing ornithology department. They have a great eBird website. You can get into it. I've seen one for the state of Minnesota. There are all kinds of them to help you take little tiny steps into this amazing avian world. It's just terrific.
I feel more peaceful just after that story.
I wonder if the birds are on Twitter.
Al, do you know the difference between a bird watcher and a birder?
No.
Bird watcher, they say, is just somebody who just observes birds. But a birder is somebody who will travel to go look at birds.
Right.
So I guess
Well,
you're
they
a
keep
birder.
lists. A lot of these folks keep lists, and they want to make sure, I haven't gotten the something sapsucker yet.
Right.
So they, take off to go find it.
them out.
Yeah.
The something sapsucker.
Sapsucker.
All right,
All right, Harry.
Our local birder, Harry Smith.
The Lost Kitchen in Freedom, Maine has the aura of perfection. The setting, the preparation and presentation of the food, and the proprietress, Erin French. All perfect.
Thank you, cheers, enjoy.
There's no greater joy than creating this dish and putting all this time and thought and effort in, thinking every little thing out, putting it down and sharing this. It's so intimate.
But who would guess that the person who's providing the experience has been to hell and back?
Someone described it, if a Disney princess opened a restaurant. And I was like, if you only knew.
Erin French's memoir, Finding Freedom, is a page-turning, tear-provoking recollection of a life that was anything but perfect.
I had plenty of big dreams. I always thought that I needed to get out of freedom to make a better life, and I wanted to be a doctor.
So it was off to college in Boston. But 2 years later...
What was it like to come home and tell your parents that you were pregnant?
My father was completely enraged. Through the entire process was just extremely stressful.
No more college, no medical degree, no husband or partner.
I considered myself a gigantic failure.
And yet...
Even though I didn't think highly of myself, I still had a lot of hope. And that's what I held on to, like I was going to fix this.
Erin's hope turned into a dream, inspired in no small part by her father, with whom she had a difficult relationship.
But there were those beautiful moments and every beautiful moment and loving moment and memory that I have of him always involves food.
Her father owned and operated a diner where Erin worked from the time she was 14, where she learned even the simplest dish prepared well could change a customer's day.
There is a bit of romance to it, even if it's a diner. There's something that's captivating. You're feeding people, you're caring for people.
Erin, the single mom, found love, or so she thought. She married and opened the first Lost Kitchen in nearby Belfast, Maine. In her book, she describes a packed dining room every night, 16-hour days, a crumbling marriage, and an unbridled dependence on prescription drugs. Erin's life collapsed. Her business closed. She began to believe her life was not worth living.
In my mind, it was like, I'm done. It's over. There's nothing to live for.
Rehab, divorce. Erin lost custody of her son. Perfect, she was not.
It almost feels to me as you're writing this book that you had to reach some absolute bottom. And in its own way, gave you a clean slate to literally start all over again.
Yeah. And I realized that. It was like this beautiful thing that it took me a bit to figure out. I mean, even down to losing every single possession I ever had.
Growing up in rural Maine, she says, helped make her a survivor. Erin began serving meals out of an old Airstream, went to therapy, and found a way to forgive herself.
I felt as though I were extending a hand toward the little girl I had left behind. I looked into her eyes and told her what no one else had, that she was perfect. For the little girl who grew up wanting to be so perfect,
yeah.
Did you finally have to say, maybe not?
Yeah. And that's okay.
When you can do that, when you can forgive yourself, what does it give you?
Strength. So much strength. That's what I felt. To say that you're okay, you're perfectly imperfect.
In the ruin that was an old mill in her hometown of Freedom, Erin opened a new lost kitchen. She's built a community of women, a sisterhood of staff, and together they met the challenge of COVID with outdoor dining and started an online store, as chronicled in the show The Lost Kitchen on Discovery Plus.
There's another proof of struggle creates beauty, and you need friction to give you strength.
Erin made us a ridiculously delicious spinach salad for lunch.
I'm getting the dressing now.
Yeah.
A little sour,
a little sweetness to it. Yeah,
oh
you get
my
a little
God.
bit of that vinegar there.
And we met her mom and new husband, Michael, who gives this story the extra bonus of happily ever after. Erin French is a life force, a magnet, and she hopes, a mirror for others.
I remember that feeling of just complete loneliness and complete despair of this was the end. And I wanted to give someone else, even if it was just one person who may have felt that feeling, a feeling so down and low that you were gonna end your life, that there's hope and there's possibility.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
We'll talk about a story of resilience. Wow. This book, wow.
It's
And
like
oh, by the
food and
way,
therapy.
right as for her son, she has regained co-custody. So there are a lot of boxes to check, and that's one of the really most important ones.
First of all, you got to get Reese Witherspoon's got to option that book for a production
That's what I
company
said.
And
That's
play
what I
Erin
said.
French
That's
in the
such a
film.
good- Yes.
That is a movie.
Tonight, the CDC's new outdoor mask guidelines. What changed that allowed this new recommendation to be made? If we do nothing, what happens to a city like Houston?
You're going to repeat this movie over and over again.
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Our week-long journey begins here in Orlando, Louisville, Kentucky, Cleveland. Our Across America journey reporting on an America rebuilding and reimagining a future after the pandemic. Breaking news tonight, the ceasefire in the Middle East after 11 days of deadly violence. Richard Engel is on the ground. Do you think there's a connection between policing and racism? How narrow a window do you have to really get kids back where we would want them to be?
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Hi, everyone. everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright.
Half of all U.S. adults now fully vaccinated.
Al is in Cleveland for our Reopening America series.
This is the greatest location in the nation.
Music is back.
Y'all were exactly what we needed.
I'm rolling up my sleeves for science, so I'll survive if I contract this virus. For family dinners, family vacations, family anything. For traveling somewhere beyond my living room. And for the Rebels, there is no greater feeling than being in the stadium and cheering on Ole Miss. And now it's your turn. Roll up your sleeves, America. Plan your vaccine, because every shot counts. Visit planyourvaccine.com and make your plan.
Just over 4 years ago, Harry Smith introduced us to a superstar of a college student named Jory Fleming. Back then, Jory, who has autism, was a 4.0 student at the University of South Carolina, bound for Oxford after earning a prestigious Rhodes Scholarship. Harry's been keeping tabs on Jory since that first interview, even visiting him at Oxford. This morning in our Sunday Spotlight, Harry has the latest extraordinary chapter in the story.
Jory Fleming has a lot on his mind.
Congratulations, first,
Thank
on your
you.
master's degree from Oxford.
Yeah, they gave me the piece of paper, so that's irrevocable. Good girl.
The Rhodes Scholar is now a research associate at his alma mater, the University of South Carolina. He is also a person with autism.
I think one of the hallmarks of my experience as an autistic individual has been maybe not a growing comfort level, but a growing desire to want to engage with others and learn from others.
That engagement includes authoring a new book titled How to Be Human.
What would it mean to think about autism? It's not just a list of pros and cons, right? And you stack them up and like one scale is bigger than the other, but rather as a difference in thinking.
A difference in thinking, not a deficit. Jory's thought processes are based on images, and for Jory, translating images into language is no small task.
It takes a ton of energy, and I don't know how to describe it other than energy, but you can feel the drain internally.
Fleming is at the control panel of his mind, channeling thoughts, marshaling resources to fit the task at hand, a difference he recognizes and appreciates.
Maybe the difference between neurotypical and someone like myself is that it's just two dishes in the wider cuisine of humanity, you know.
We first met Jory during his senior year of college and then caught up with him at Oxford. Over the years, he's developed a manual of human interaction.
So we've had conversations before. Do you have a little manual on me?
Yeah, if I heard your voice, I would recognize it. I'd also probably recognize your ears and other kind of odd things that I tend to overfocus on. So if I saw your ear in a mall, I might be able to say, "Hey, Harry."
Incredible. What is intuitive for Jory, the difference in people's ears, is all but imperceptible to the rest of us.
There's something very special about how he sees the world.
Fleming's mother, Kelly, with whom he still lives, homeschooled Jory and accompanied him to Oxford. The book is dedicated to her.
She's not just my mom. She is my teacher, my carer, and my greatest friend.
Fleming writes eloquently about coping with a world he says was not set up for him.
I've never felt like I'm a mistake.
People sometimes talk about wanting to cure autism.
I am very appreciative of the difference in my mind and how it enables me to see problems, to see other people. I think if I wasn't autistic, I might actually be less empathetic.
Something for us neurotypical types to think about. For Sunday Today, Harry Smith, Columbia, South Carolina.
What a guy. Harry, thank you very much. Jory's new book, How to Be Human, An Autistic Man's Guide to Life, is out now, and it's available at today.com/shop.
What's about to happen on our plaza is you're all going to get your very first COVID vaccine.
I'm excited.
She's excited. 3, 2, 1, champion!
So grateful.
That close to prom.
Here we go.
Ready, actors.
An indie horror film, a talented young actress, and a deadly shot. Dateline's newest podcast, Killer Roll.
Action!
Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts.
Right now on NBC News Now.
Here in Chicago, about 20,000 middle schoolers returning to school today.
They also took advantage of existing vaccine distribution networks throughout Alaska.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright. Are you ready? We're going to do our part to spread the word on the importance of vaccines, so crucial for reopening America.
A big day around here, a very special naturalization ceremony.
Many of them doctors, nurses, other essential workers.
If you are a nurse, thank you.
Spring has sprung, guys, and we want to fill this season with some fun and surprises.
Yes, this is the face of excitement.
Celebrating Earth Day. Let's change the world. Love it!
In Philadelphia, there was dancing in the street as the Black Doctors COVID-19 Consortium celebrated 25,000 shots in 31 days. In Virginia Beach, a vaxxed-up senior living community celebrated their herd immunity by taking swings at a COVID-shaped piñata. We spent a few hours at Citi Field in Queens recently, chatting with vaccine givers and vaccine receivers. Even months in, it doesn't get old.
What is it like to know that you're literally changing people's lives by being able to give them that shot?
I feel honored the fact that I'm giving these vaccinations to the people, especially if it's just to keep them safe and just to keep them relieved.
Relief after a year of fear and anxiety.
The nurse, she's really good. She was talking to me before I get nervous. It's done. It was easy. It was, oh my God, it's done.
Is there a sense of relief for you?
Yes, yes. It's kind of like relief to me and my mom, my family.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal, of course.
It's impressive, the care and concern shown to everyone who files in. Each individual dose changing not just the life of the recipient, but the lives of all they contact.
It's in. We're done. Thank you.
Oh, I want to have the second dose right away.
Does it get emotional for you sometimes?
Yes, it does. It sure does. Sometimes you have to take a minute for yourself and calm yourself down too.
Wow. To know that you're making a difference, person by person by person by person, that's got to be significant in some way. To me, it seems like.
You can't really put it into words or express it, but it sure does.
Oh, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
As the doses are administered, we dream. Who will we hug first? Who will we go see? For some, it's a no-brainer.
I mean, I've been eager all week just to get it. I have a new grandson. He's 2 months old, and I want to be normal again. You know, I want to be able to visit him as often as I want without the worry of, possibly spreading anything.
These are the Pfizer vaccines.
Nearby, in a seriously secure area, are the frozen vaccines. Liquid gold, some call them.
Dealing with these very sensitive vaccines, what would you liken it to?
Transporting a nuclear missile.
Even more so like a heart transplant. You're removing something that is quite alive, then you're just moving it over to another life and giving that person life. It really is such a sense of pride and accomplishment to be able to be part of that.
All this is happening on the mezzanine of a ballpark in Queens.
I've been told on good authority that this private suite, which is now being used to store medical and sanitary supplies for the vaccination effort, actually belongs to Jerry Seinfeld. I gotta bet he'd think it's being put to good use.
And when the healthcare workers take a break, there's this. Yup, the Mets' 1986 World Series trophy. A point of pride for the people of Queens, as is the effort here. Thousands and thousands of vaccinations administered without a hitch in English, Spanish, Chinese, and more.
Thank you so much. No problem.
What does it mean to you personally as a Queens guy to be here and be part of this effort?
Historic, it's just immeasurable, honestly. To help my own people of South Asian descent as well as my fellow Queens residents and help them get vaccinated and help getting back to going to Flushing Meadow Park, coming to a Mets ball game. It's a huge honor and it's just extremely humbling.
That was so much easier than in my head. Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay. Go ahead, go out there. The shots are more and more of.
Hi, Today All Day. We've got a great show for you on this Thursday morning, including an all-day exclusive chat with a special guest you can only see here. But let's kick it off with Pop Start. The CMT Awards were last night, and Carson has all the details on the fashion, performances, and of course, the winners. Take a look.
All right, guys, first up, the CMT Awards, where last night country's biggest stars came out for a show packed with star-studded performances to honor the best in the biz. Carrie Underwood and John Legend took home the title of Video of the Year for their duet, Hallelujah. And this marks John's an EGOT winner. This is his first honor at the CMTs, and Carrie's 23rd, which makes her the most decorated artist in the award show's history. But before taking home that record-setting trophy, Carrie joined country band Need to Breathe on stage for a performance of their collaboration called I Want to Remember. Here's some of that. That sounded great, but it wasn't all country music at the show last night. Singer Mickey Guyton gave the audience a real treat when she brought the one and only Gladys Knight to perform her 1969 hit, Friendship Train. Take a look at this.
Everybody shake a hand, shake a hand. Yes, I'm talking about the friendship train.
It's a good look for the CMTs, right?
I love it. They
Bringing in
look
some
great.
soul.
Is she going to be at one of our concerts, Mickey Guy?
She is.
Yeah.
You're right. There you go. Maybe you should bring Gladys.
It was a big night for singer Kane Brown as well. Not only did he host the show alongside Kelsey Ballerini, Brown also took home Male Video of the Year for his hit song Worship You. And following the big win, he got the whole crowd on their feet with a fun performance of Famous Friends with his friend, Mr. Chris Young.
Back in Hamilton County, our crowd is second to none. You might not know I'm here in this big city we're in, but when I go back home, I got some famous friends. Yeah, I do.
Great show last night. Congratulations to all the big winners.
Country music looks so different.
Yeah, right?
Just a few years ago.
Still sounds
good. Yeah.
Next up, the Olympics, guys. The Tokyo Games are set to start next month. So, you know, all the top athletes are busy getting ready for the USA team trials, which are coming up in just a couple of weeks. But in a series of new promos, it looks like training for some of the athletes is getting interrupted by everybody's favorite little yellow guys. Here's an exclusive first look.
What does it take to be the best? The laps at dawn, the thousands of hours in the pool. Wait, what? Nice.
Why just live up to people's expectations when you can defy them? Why justify them when?
That was swimmer Caleb Dressel and Simone Biles taking a little break from training with the Minions. And you can see how all that hard work pays off at the U.S. team trials beginning this Saturday. And, of course, don't forget to tune in to the Tokyo Olympics kicking off July 23rd right here on NBC and across the platforms of NBC as well. And finally, Ryan Reynolds, the actor and father of three, also has his very own brand of gin. And for Father's Day, Reynolds is whipping up a cocktail that celebrates all the joys of fatherhood in one particular drink that he calls the vasectomy. Sorry, but here's how to make it.
Tall glass with ice. The way children fill our lives with so much joy. Next, pour 1 ounce of cranberry juice. Sweet, just like their little smiles. Then, pour 3 ounces of tonic. So bubbly, just like I feel every day I wake up after a long, full night's sleep. Finally, we're gonna add 1.5 ounces of Aviation American Gin, the world's highest rated gin for the world's highest rated job. Dad. Now that is as refreshing as fatherhood. Well, something I call the vasectomy for no reason at all. Happy Father's Day, everyone.
There you go.
Listen, he grabbed our attention.
Ryan Reynolds is selling vasectomy drink kits on the Aviation Gin website. Something to keep in mind if you're still shopping for Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, guys.
You can probably swap it out for bourbon as well. Right. Just as effective.
Or grain alcohol.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or shots. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright.
Half of all U.S. adults now fully vaccinated.
Al is in Cleveland for our Reopening America series.
This is the greatest location in the nation.
Music is back.
Y'all were exactly what we needed.
It has been a long year.
Yeah, where it's been anything but normal.
Well, now there's hope. The COVID vaccines.
I know. It's been a little confusing.
Like, really confusing.
So it's more important than ever to make a plan. Visit planyourvaccine.com
to find out where and when to get your vaccine.
What are you waiting for?
Roll up your sleeves and plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Congratulations to Lester Holt, the most trusted TV news anchor in America, on receiving the prestigious Edward R. Murrow Lifetime Achievement Award for a career dedicated to excellence in journalism.
Welcome back. Today on the third hour, Dylan is live at Universal Orlando Resort for the grand opening of the new Jurassic Park ride, the Velocicoaster. Check it out.
Let's head up Florida's Turnpike to another popular travel destination. Dylan joining us live at Universal Orlando Resort for the grand opening of the Velocicoaster. Dylan, how's it back at Universal for the big opening?
I will say this is the most normal thing I've felt since I've been out. It's actually the first time I've been on an airplane in I can't even remember how long, but to see the crowds here, and you know, the first thing you see when you walk in is if you're fully vaccinated, you have every right to take off your mask and just kind of do whatever you want to do. But they do ask if you have not been vaccinated to wear your mask. So you see a mix of people wearing masks, not wearing masks all around. There's hand sanitizing stations all over the place. There's a lot of, you know, just use your phone to pay for things, you know, so you don't have to interact or hand over money or hand over your credit card. So just like the precautions we see everywhere we go nowadays, it just sort of has become normal, and you kind of see it here around the park. But to see the excitement, to hear the screams from a roller coaster, to see just the lines for people waiting for this ride to open up, it's really just been spectacular to be back here, and it is the most normal thing I've done in quite some time.
I have FOMO. It looks like a beautiful day there. We saw you made a couple of friends while you were there a little earlier this morning. Who do you have with you now?
You know, well, it just so happens I happen to be pregnant again, so I have to sit out another roller coaster. I mean, I love roller coasters. So Carrie Sanders, Kenan Thompson, they took my place. Guys, what did you think of the ride?
Well, first of all, Kenan and I were holding hands on the ride.
We're joined.
You know,
the union.
It's funny. What did I think of the ride? Well, I'll go with you first. What did you think?
I loved it. I think it's exhilarating. You know, I think it's, you know, for all ages, but it really does feel like it is trying to throw you out of there. It is
And you were letting go. Like you actually floated out of your seat.
Like a few times.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to when you're done being preggo over there. And, can get on the ride.
So I'm out of my seat, and the funny thing is, and this is like a psychological thing, waiting to go on the ride and understanding a little bit about it and looking up and seeing it, little anxiety. And you know, I will try anything. Yeah. And then you do it, you're like, wow, that was great, exhilarating.
Now, okay, you say that, but then the ride stops. You guys basically had keys to the park yesterday, and Kenan's like, let's do it again. That's
right.
So then how are you feeling?
Exhausted. It's kind of funny. It does take something out of you.
Yeah, I mean, you're just like, well, what is happening with it? But no, it's good. It's good times.
I was very happy, and I thank him for saying let's do it again, because I probably would have gotten off second time, you know what? I started looking down the track and I saw a little bit more of what might be coming.
Look at that. Look, that's two dudes having fun right there. Wow, come on.
I love
best friends.
Oh my God, I'm watching this really for the first time and I'm kind of blown away. Is there more smiles than I think or not?
Oh, man.
Yes, that moment there, that is a heck of a moment.
The wind flying through those dad jokes.
Right.
I love it.
And then here, let's see where we are. Well, at one point we dropped 155 feet. So dropping 155 feet with gravity is an experience.
And I love, Dylan, we love the fact that you put your mom on the coaster with them as well as your stand-in.
Well, that's what was, she lives not that far from here, so she came over yesterday just to meet me for lunch, and I said, do you want to ride the ride? She's like, oh, that's interesting. Not thinking I had actually set it up. So she joined them on the ride, and then the second time around, nobody else got off the ride. She's like, well, I couldn't be the only one to get off. So after she rode it twice, she was like, they got off the ride first. I'm like, my mom is with you, right? She's alive and well.
She's like,
where's Mom? I did not get my bravery. I don't have any bravery inherited from her.
That's so funny. That's great. Well, guys,
a lot of courage and a lot of gumption, and boom.
Okay, it's time for Overheard on Third. This morning, we're still waiting on a photo for of Harry and Meghan's new baby girl.
Lilibet.
That's right. But of course, there is a controversy brewing. The couple is accusing the BBC of libel over a report claiming the new parents had named their daughter Lilibet without asking the Queen before the birth. Well, in a statement, a spokesman for the Sussexes told NBC News that Harry had, in fact, called his grandmother the Queen before the announcement and said they would not have used the name had the Queen not been supportive.
It really bothers me that this is a story. I mean, it's I was always saying, babies and puppies. You leave babies and puppies alone.
Absolutely.
Like, and for me, especially babies. Like, what does this little her name is Lilibet. She's named after her grandmother. Like, that's full stop.
And by the way, did the BBC not learn anything after they booted and screwed up the and all the things they did with that Diana interview? So let's double down and let's go after her grandmother, her grandchild. Crazy. Anyway, Buckingham Palace declined to comment. The BBC did not respond because they're just so embarrassed.
Well, I will say we had a conversation this morning on, what did you just say?
I don't know.
We had a phone conversation this morning. We were all talking about this. And, the question is, if you name someone, what's the verbiage?
In other words, if you are going to name your child after somebody,
correct,
do you let them know beforehand?
Not necessarily.
I don't think so.
I named Clara Josephine. Clara is my husband's grandmother, and Josephine is my grandmother. I called her after she was born and said, guess what?
Come on.
Granted, my grandmother's like, so wait, Josephine's not first? She's like, is anybody going to call her Clara Josephine?
I think everybody looks at it as kind of an honor.
I think so, too. So we have spoken.
All right.
Third hour today.
That's right. And if the BBC would like to call, we don't want to hear from you. Are you planning a summer vacation? Experts say it's a great idea, especially this summer after such a challenging year. But in an article in Psychology Today, they say go in with a vacation, but maybe don't plan anything.
I think this is so important.
Brilliant.
Just yesterday, I'm at the last soccer practice, and every single, what do you do in the summer? Oh, this camp this week, then that week, and then we're going to go here. Everything is planned to the second. And I feel like during the pandemic, part of the reason why it was so wonderful is because we didn't have anything planned.
See, I'm obviously a little older than you.
Yes.
When we were coming up, there were no plans. What you looked up forward to for summer was nothing.
I agree.
You just had months of nothing.
Yeah.
Just going out, hanging with your friends.
Going outside.
Riding your bike.
Catching light bugs.
Just
what do you call them? Lightning bugs. What did I say? Light bugs?
Light bugs.
Light bugs. Catching lightning bugs, and the other highlight of my life, when it would rain and the water would collect in the gutter, collecting worms.
Maybe you should have planned a little more.
I'm just being honest. I would put it in a little mason jar, and then I would go get grass, and I'd put the grass in it and let it.
I have to think that there was more to do in Kansas than that.
I had quite the delightful childhood.
Except for the worms. The worms are going, let us out! Let me out!
Then I'd see the next morning if they were still moving.
Coming up on Hoda and Jenna, Willie Geist is here.
Ready, actors. An indie horror film, a talented young actress, and a deadly shot. Dateline's newest podcast, Killer Roll.
Action!
Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright. Are you ready? We're going to do our part to spread the word on the importance of vaccines, so crucial for reopening America.
A big day around here. A very special naturalization ceremony.
Many of them doctors, nurses, other essential workers.
If you are a nurse, thank you.
Spring has sprung, guys, and we want to fill this season with some fun and surprises.
Yes.
This is the face of excitement.
Celebrating Earth Day.
Let's change the world.
Love it!
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Our Across America journey here in Louisville, Kentucky. Cleveland, reporting on an America rebuilding after the pandemic.
How narrow a window do you have to really get kids back where we would want them to be?
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. Congratulations to Lester Holt, the most trusted TV news anchor in America, on receiving the prestigious Edward R. Murrow Lifetime Achievement Award for a career dedicated to excellence in journalism.
What's about to happen on our plaza is you're all going to get your very first COVID vaccine.
I'm excited.
She's excited. 3, 2, 1,
Yes! So grateful.
That close to crying.
Here we go.
It does seem as if this White House doesn't want to bring a lot of high-profile attention to the issue. What efforts might depoliticize vaccine hesitancy? What happens if we don't act on police reform this year? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press. The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Killer Roll, the new podcast from Dateline. Subscribe now wherever you listen.
Welcome back. Today on Hoda and Jenna, actress Jessica Chastain is unrecognizable in the new Eyes of Tammy Faye trailer. Plus, Willie and I share our take on last night's CMT Awards. Take a look. So, Willie, first of all, what's been going on? I haven't seen you in a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Well, my daughter graduated from 8th grade yesterday, which doesn't sound like much. You go 8th grade graduation, but there was something about these little, well, I think they're little kids, because they've known each other since they were in kindergarten. And they've grown up together, and then they walked out yesterday, boys and girls included, and all of a sudden they were young men and women, and they were so tall, and the girls were so beautiful, dressed up, and it was, I think, more of a moment than I was expecting it to be, you know?
Did you get kind of teary?
Of course, yeah, it's been that kind of week.
I remember my 8th grade graduation because my grandmother, Barbara, spoke at it.
Oh, wow.
And it was the summer of Pulp Fiction. Barbara and I, my sister Barbara and I were obsessed with Pulp Fiction, and my grandmother kind of couldn't believe that we were allowed in 8th grade to see that film.
Right, that's intense.
And
for
so
8th
that
grade.
was the whole speech was about really Pulp Fiction.
Was it really?
If you ever would have thought Barbara Bush would have gone there, she did.
That's got to be in like the Library of Congress somewhere, that speech.
Like,
That's incredible.
congratulations to Lucy.
We're very excited. Congratulations to you. This is a huge deal, okay? Jenna and Hoda just won a Gracie Award. What is a Gracie Award? It's an award show by women for women honoring achievement in TV, radio, and digital media. Basically, it's the best of the best.
Oh.
And Jenna and Hoda won for on-air talent in the lifestyle entertainment category.
I know, we're
Isn't that
so
cool?
excited. I need to call Hoda, but yeah, I think it's really great. I called my parents and they were like, what? I was like, a Gracie. They were like, oh. And then everybody at work was like, no, people in our industry know that it's cool.
It's a
just
big-
because your parents don't doesn't
It's
mean
a big
thing.
deal and well-deserved, and it hasn't been easy, I know, to put on these shows for you and your awesome staff for the last year and a half.
The staff is who we dedicate it all to, for
Tribute
sure.
to them.
Okay, yesterday something dropped, and I don't normally see the things that drop early and sort of. Are you laughing at me just by time?
No, I like when you said drop.
And the phone, like I was on my phone scrolling on Twitter, and it was this. Okay, it is this Jessica Chastain's transformation for this new film. It's called The Eyes of Tammy Faye. And Jessica plays, of course, Tammy Faye Baker, the evangelist, TV personality, and Christian recording artist. Andrew Garfield co-stars as Jim Baker. Take a look.
I just want to love people.
The devil's coming for me, Tammy.
Can we talk about Satan later, Jim?
Steve is a patient of AIDS.
I can't look at this. You need to get her under control.
I built you an empire.
I built you an empire.
Some people, they're just hurting so bad, and we just need to love them.
I want to put my arm around you.
And I want to put my arms around you, Tammy Faye.
go forward looking in the rearview mirror of my life. This is who I am.
Wow.
Right? I watched it 3 times. It reminded me of the Bradley Cooper, Lady Gaga Oscar special that I just couldn't get enough of, their duet. Like, I was watching it so excited for this chemistry.
We were just saying, watching that, I can't even see Jessica Chastain in there. I was trying to refocus my brain to see Jessica Chastain. I don't see her.
I mean, I don't know if people are talking Oscars, but I think she's going to win it, right?
And it's an incredible story. Jim Baker, if people
Yes.
forgot, ultimately was convicted and imprisoned on a bunch of counts of fraud and 1 count of conspiracy. Jessica Chastain committed to the role. She says she spent almost 10 years researching Tammy, 4 hours a day in the makeup chair, applying that intense makeup, prosthetics, and wigs to get the look we were just talking about.
She told people, the thing I loved most about Tammy is her capacity to love. She knew what it felt like to not feel important, and she didn't want anyone to experience that. So The Eyes of Tammy Faye will hit theaters, which is even great to say, September 17th. I will be there.
Jessica's a great actress to begin
Yeah,
with.
you just
but this
chatted
is like
with
a
her,
whole
right?
new thing. Yeah, she's been on the Sunday show. She's
Of course she
so
has.
smart and cool.
Who
and she's
hasn't
played
been
all
on the Sunday show?
Well, we'd like to get you sometime, but your
yeah.
people keep saying, she's busy, and don't call us back.
True at all. Okay, last night you were watching this, right? The CMT Awards?
CMTs. Love the CMT.
Okay, they are known, the CMT Awards always pair these unexpected artists together. So check out Gladys Knight and one of our favorites, Mickey Guyton, singing the classic hit, Friendship Train. Let's watch.
Train. Everybody shake a hand, shake a hand. Yes, I'm talking about the friendship train. Get on board and shake a hand, make a friend.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good. I like Mickey Guyton, by the way. Her explosion to stardom in the last year, whatever it's been, is such a great thing for music. She is so talented.
Isn't she so awesome? She's been on the show, and Hoda and I both marveled at everything
awesome.
that she does.
And a trailblazer on top of it.
You
So,
love your buddies. You're kind of friends with Chris Stapleton, right?
I like Chris Stapleton a lot.
Would he call you a friend?
I don't think he
Okay.
would. I wish he would, but I don't think he would. I think these award shows, though, music in particular,
Yes.
are onto something now that they can keep. They're doing it because of COVID,
Yes.
but the Stapleton performance was out in a field somewhere, and it was just beautifully shot. Miranda Lambert was sitting around a campfire. I think this might be the new way to do these performances. Very cool. Stapleton did a song with singer, guitarist Her, performing the song Hold On.
I know if I hold on to you, I'll never want to leave. Gonna let me, gonna set me free.
So awesome.
The two of them. So Stapleton actually, at the beginning of the show, did that performance. He sang his song Arkansas out in a field. But Her is
incredible.
Talk about somebody having a moment. She played the Super Bowl. She won a Grammy, an Oscar. She is a superstar.
Amazing. Okay, speaking of amazing music, one high school principal in High Point, North Carolina, just gave his students a graduation performance they will never forget. Check it out.
And I wish you joy and happiness. But above all this, I wish you love. And I will always love you.
Oh,
Don't you have
that's
chills?
awesome. Wow.
That principal, Marcus Gauze, he told us that after what his students had been through this last year, he wanted to know that he hopes life treats them kind and that they could do anything, and he will always love them.
And by the way, a big swing doing a Whitney song. Dolly Parton and Whitney to do that song. That's not an easy one. He just crushed it.
Isn't that so beautiful?
Yeah, the valedictorian, by the way, of that class worked her way up from number 10 to number 1. So to celebrate her hard work, Marcus, the principal, gave her a choice of 3 songs, and she chose I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston.
Yeah, he said she's proof that dreams can come true if you work for them.
Let's get him a record contract.
Yes, okay,
Yeah.
let's do it. Today Talks continues after the break. Willie and I have an exclusive chat you can only see here on Today All Day.
I joined Ellen on her set. What's been a difficult year for her personally and for her show.
Very few people go through such huge public humiliation. How can I be an example of strength and perseverance if I give up and run away?
Ready, actors! An indie horror film, a talented young actress, and a deadly shot. Dateline's newest podcast, Killer Roll. Action! Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts.
It has been a long year.
Yeah, where it's been anything but normal.
Well, now there's hope. The COVID vaccines.
I know. It's been a little confusing.
Like, really confusing. So it's more important than ever to make a plan. Visit planyourvaccine.com
to find out where and when to get your vaccine.
What are you waiting for? Roll up your sleeves and plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Ready, actors! An indie horror film, a talented young actress, and a deadly shot. Dateline's newest podcast, Killer Roll. Action! Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright.
Half of all U.S. adults now fully vaccinated.
Al is in Cleveland for our Reopening America series.
This is the greatest location in the nation.
Music is back.
Y'all were exactly what we needed.
Welcome back to Today Talks and our exclusive content you can only see here on Today All Day. We are talking with Willie Geist, my co-host, about Zoom.
Yes, Zoom.
The doom of Zoom.
I think there's some complaining that's going to happen about Zoom. Before we complain, let's say Zoom and other programs like it made the last year and a half possible.
Yes.
Right? I mean, work, school. So let's thank it first.
Yes.
And now we can say,
You're right.
It's
we shouldn't
been a
just
long
dump on Zoom without saying thank you for everything you've given us.
It's why we could do our jobs.
Like
it's
a
why our
television
kids could go to
show.
school.
Yes,
Exactly.
we thank you, Zoom, and
Yes.
now we would like to roast you. Because there was an article in the Wall Street Journal. It's not just us, okay,
No.
Willie? A lot of people are saying that folks are so over Zoom hangs. They're tired of the virtual parties, the happy hours, the coffee dates. And now that you can, many of us are vaccinated, you can get together and have in-person hangs. Why would you just get on Zoom to chat with your family?
That's the thing. Now that there's an alternative, I don't think people want to be in there. But think back to last March of 2020 and April and May. You were so grateful to see your parents or your sister, or your brother, or your
Although I
friends.
will say, so we created a family Zoom on Sundays with my huge extended family, and my dad didn't quite understand the concept that he wasn't muted. So he'd be like, what'd she say? Like each family would talk about their thing. He'd be like, did she just say that? And I was like, Barbara, Dad is not muted. Like we can hear him.
I
and
can
he,
picture
on
all of
all
it.
the comments.
My cousin, Herbie,
Herb.
Uncle Herb. Uncle Herb's son, Herbie.
Oh, I didn't know that Uncle Herb had a son
There's a
named Herbie.
next-gen Herb.
Oh, okay.
That's a whole other conversation, Uncle Herb. He got married on Zoom a few weeks ago, and it was that exactly. It was like 60 people, and people didn't know how to mute, and we had to just get everybody settled before we could go on. I think part of it, too, is people are just frustrated with the technology glitches sometimes. I was interviewing for my Sunday show a few weeks ago, Kevin Hart.
Yes.
He's shooting a movie in Budapest, so we did it over Zoom. And by the end of it, I must have been my Wi-Fi went down, and he was answering a question, and I heard later on the tape, he kept talking. I was gone. Because it dropped out. He kept talking for like 3 minutes after, and he must have been like, wow, Willie's not even acknowledging the things I'm saying. And then when he stopped, he said, God, I guess I talked too long. Willie just left, and he started laughing.
Are you going to put that in the piece?
It didn't make it in. It's on the podcast, the Sunday Sit Down podcast.
Oh, everybody loves that podcast. Can I just say something, though? There are a couple things that I want to thank Zoom for. Parent-teacher conferences.
Yes.
In fact, I don't think next year, I think Zoom will always be for parent-teacher conferences.
Think so?
Yes, because you can do it in the comfort of your own home or your office.
That's true.
People don't have to miss work to do a parent-teacher conference, and it keeps you on schedule.
That's true.
So that's one thing. Also, back-to-school nights.
Don't you want to be in the little chair?
How does it feel for you to sit in that little chair?
Well, now that they're in middle school, the tables have gotten a little bigger.
have they?
But from kindergarten, the kindergarten classes.
I mean, can you imagine Hank Hager, my husband, 6'4",
He's a
just
big man.
sitting down in that little
He's
chair?
a big man. But I also think that's sort of a little rite of passage. You go sit in the little chair, you see your teacher,
I agree,
you see
but
the
I'm
other
okay
parents.
if those stay on Zoom. You know what? Call me whatever you want to call me. Call me whenever you want to call me, but I'm okay to just keep those on time.
Yeah, that's true.
You
You've
know
got
what I mean?
you've got your 20-minute window. Boom, we got to dump off and go to the next person.
Yeah,
But
okay.
let's end our conversation where we began. Thank you, Zoom,
Yeah.
for making life possible.
feel-
But now it might be time to say farewell.
I feel like this is a Zoom funeral.
It is.
Is it?
Pour one out. for
Goodbye, Zoom. For our lost homie, Zoom. All right, that's it for this episode of Today Talks. Keep watching for more Today All Day.
Okay, guys, full confession. I got to see 3 episodes of Girls 5 Ever. Gonna be famous 5 ever.
Forever's too short.
Stop it. It's so, first of all, it's so catchy. And truth be told, I was supposed to be on the set starting the Today Show at 7. I was in my dressing room. I was playing episode 2.
Yay!
Played episode 3. They said, come down. I gave it to Savannah in the commercial. I said, watch 5 minutes. You guys are the Ted Lasso for women. It is so funny. So first of all, I need to know, how did you four get chosen to be together? Because to me, this is sort of magic. Busy, why don't you start us off?
It was a contest at the mall, Dakota, and we all just showed up. No, I mean, I feel so grateful when Tina Faye called me. Sarah and Renee were already signed on to the project, and it was as if someone in the middle of the hardest year in all of our, oh my God, I'm going to cry. Am I crying? I'm about to cry. The hardest year in all of our lives. Someone called me Tina Faye, the best in the world, and offered me like my dream come true. Do you want to come and spend like the next 4 months working with the most incredible women and sing with the most talented singers and pretend that you were a pop star? And I was like, I fell on the ground. So that's how I was lucky enough to join the cast. And when I read the script, I knew for sure. I was like, it has to be Paula Pell. If it's not Paula, I don't know who it is. And then we signed on for that table read, and I saw Paula, and I was like, yes.
Paula, you are a fan favorite. I mean, every time you come up on the screen, before you even open your mouth, I start laughing. I'm like, I'm not sure what's coming, but I got to get ready.
Gloria's the character always has that look. Like, it reminds me of my old grandpa Joey, who was Italian, that would always be like, you know what's wrong with this country? Everyone's got 2 cars. There's a lot of weight on her. She's got a lot of weight on her, but a lot of weight in her soul that she needs to unleash and unpeel in the series, which I love, because like the exhilaration of, you'll see later in the episodes that Gloria starts really letting it rip.
Oh, well, she lets it rip in the first few too.
That's true. She's not a shy flower in the first couple.
So Sarah and Renee, you guys were signed on first. So will you just tell me, how did the call come for you, Renee?
I got sent the pilot script, and I laughed so hard and cried a little bit because I was like, I just kept spit taking. Because my question was, I don't understand the title of this show, in the email. And then 2 pages into the pilot, I was like, oh my God, like 2 pages in, it was just the funniest. My favorite thing ever in any kind of 90s, group movie is that group that didn't make it, like that group that had like this huge moment of fame that didn't make it. And sometimes they're just in the beginning of a movie. And the fact that it's an entire series about the thing that just makes me laugh more than anything in the world is just a gift from Meredith Scardino.
Yes.
And Tina Faye.
Sarah, your voice is bar none. I've loved you since the very beginning. The minute I heard Sarah sing, it was like a warm hand on your heart. So I knew music was obviously in your blood. What I didn't know was that you have that funny timing. You have that great comedic timing. So when you were stepping into this role, and this is a little unfamiliar to you, you hadn't really acted in a comedy before. How did you get your sea legs?
Working amongst the sea of this beautiful community of talented people. I mean, I think, in some ways I think So my sister, Jenny, is a hilarious person. And I think that I have spent my entire life looking up to her and watching her and her comedic timing. And then this was like an opportunity to like practice, but being so held and so supported by these, you know, these three women in particular, but also our creative team and the other cast members. It was a really extraordinary set to be on. I think partially because we were coming to this job amidst COVID. And so there was this undercurrent of just gratitude to get to work, to be able to go to work and to be with other people and to do something creative that was joyful. All of it felt like very present to me. So I think, you know, in the context of what last year felt like, it was like leap, you know, and hopefully the ground shall appear, because it was a big trust fall. I was very nervous to sign on, and I told Tina and Meredith, I was like, I think you called the wrong person. I don't know what you think this is not what I do. But I had so much fun.
Did you guys make it through without busting up in every take?
Oh my
God. We did.
Yeah, that was hard.
We were at the very end of the shoot. We had, it was like the last hour where we were delirious. It was freezing cold outside. We were on our very last minute, and they handed us a sheet to just record something without camera, just for some like answering machine moment. And it was something a line for Busy that was so ungodly funny, and they didn't warn us, and we were so loopy, and she just said the line, and it was that church cry where you can't come back from it, and it's like, oh, like everyone is about to kill us because we're about to wrap on this entire season, and we cannot get through it. We couldn't get through it. We just kept having to like recollect. So, and I grew up in church, like grown up Catholic with a lot of giggle fits, and oh my God, we couldn't stop crying. We couldn't stop laughing, cry laughing.
How many of you guys saw Renee in Hamilton?
Oh, numerous times.
So many times.
Okay, come on. So you knew that she was just like a perfect human being. So
Oh my God.
first your role in this, Renee, is hilarious, because I didn't see it coming. I'm like, you play this kind of diva. You don't care. You're like, get back, Nats. You're like dusting everyone away from you. Was it fun to get into that character, which is so not your personality?
Oh my God, thank you for saying that, Oda. Yeah, it was a stretch for me. You know what made it so easy? I'll just copy, Sarah. It's those women and how brilliantly funny they are, but also it was the styling. What I'm most excited about this show is that style team, the hair, the makeup, those clothes from that time, or even their choices in present day, what they wear. I almost felt like, don't judge my performance until they have put on this look. Because once I stepped into that 90s, that hair, those wigs, those clothes, once I stepped into that moment, I just felt like my Sasha Fierce came out.
Yeah.
And it was a joy.
We saw it too. It did come out.
It did. I was shocked. I was like, oh, get back. So I'm sorry.
Our Across America journey here in Louisville, Kentucky. Cleveland. Reporting on an America rebuilding after the pandemic.
How narrow a window do you have to really get kids back where we would want them to be?
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. Killer Roll, the new podcast from Dateline. Subscribe now wherever you listen.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright.
Are you ready? Half of all U.S. adults now fully vaccinated.
A huge lift is underway for one of the most celebrated cities in this country, Cleveland, Ohio.
Yep. This is the greatest location in the nation.
We're having a baby.
Wow.
The big reveal is under the lid.
Hey now.
Things are looking brighter, so we want to help you find the fun in 21.
Music is back.
Y'all were exactly what we needed.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright.
Half of all U.S. adults now fully vaccinated.
Al is in Cleveland for our Reopening America series.
This is the greatest location in the nation.
Music is back.
Y'all were exactly what we needed.
Killer Roll, the new podcast from Dateline. Subscribe now wherever you listen.
I
I joined Ellen on her set. What's been a difficult year for her personally and for her show.
Very few people go through such huge public humiliation. How can I be an example of strength and perseverance if I give up and run away?
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
But you guys, the singing is so on point. You all are joking the whole time. And the lyrics, by the way, they're such earworms. What's the lyric that is still an earworm for you guys?
Oh, God.
Oh, Dream Girlfriends. Yeah.
How does that go?
It just Dream Girlfriends, because our dads are dead.
So you never have to meet them and get asked why you left school. Like,
I mean, it's my favorite. I sing
It's
it
so
sometimes
bad.
just like not even a joke, doing the dishes. I'm just like, Dream Girlfriend. I mean, all the time I'm singing.
You know,
Dream
I
Girlfriends.
worked for years with Jeff Richmond. I've known him for 20, almost 20 years. And he, of course, you know, was a musical director at SNL. He wrote so many funny things at SNL. He's so talented. And then add Meredith Scardino, who's one of the funniest comedy writers on earth. And the two of them with the lyrics and music together are just, and of course he did Mean Girls the musical, but it's like on Broadway, but just like incredibly funny songs. And then of course our big song at the end of the season is written by the incredible Sarah Bareilles that made us open mouth bubble cry, like put a bubble out of our mouth crying when we first heard it. And we get to sing that. We get to sing what she wrote with these three, and it is like a pinch me every single day doing it.
I didn't know. I mean, I knew you wrote Waitress, obviously, and you ended up on Broadway on stage that night, and I remember that too. That was beautiful. I didn't know you wrote a song for this one too.
I did. Yeah, it was, testament to the deeply collaborative and sort of open-hearted nature of the writing team and the music, the whole music department, but Jeff in particular, who approached me kind of early in the season saying, we have this song kind of towards the end. We know the concept a little bit, but are you interested in playing? And at that point, I was a little bit just like, I don't quite know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to remember my lines. And so I don't know if I can take it on. But as the season went on and just madly fell in love with everyone on set, but these three in particular. And then it became really fun to think about, what would we say if, it's celebrating the idea of being perfectly imperfect. We're coming up 4 stars instead of 5 stars. So it's like that, the idea that they find a way to celebrate themselves in all of their flaws, in all of their imperfections. And then it was just a collaboration. I mean, it was Meredith's lyrical ideas that I sort of teased out in different directions, and Jeff was at the ready to kind of, ping pong it back and forth. But it was so celebratory. I felt so proud.
I love the whole concept, because a lot of us right now, some are in our 40s, some of us are in our 50s. And I think you guys are in those categories.
Yes.
And you feel like there's something about reclaiming a little bit of something.
Yeah.
I just love the whole premise, Busy.
Yeah. I mean, well, for me, that was also part of what was so incredible, that I feel like so many of us of this age group, so many women, Gen X women, do feel this connection to like reclaiming your own narrative and being able to, I mean, it's something that I feel really strongly about, obviously. Mm-hmm. And to have, look, I was a teen actor, mm-hmm. 20 years ago, I was on television, and to have this sort of mirrored big comedy storyline about, 4 women who, when they were very young, were put together and were told a lot of things about who they were and what they were capable of. And now they're adults and they're like grown women who realize, well, wait, I don't have to be held to that anymore. And they realize that together, which is just what I love, and through supporting one another. So, I mean, the show is insane and hilarious and incredible, but then also just the heart of that and the relatability is something that I love so deeply.
I totally agree. Renee, your character is put on. Like she's trying to let everyone think that she's, really made it big when in reality, she's got a big secret. And I think a lot of women try, in real life, they try to put on a front. They put on a face. It's all BS, but they do that. They're like, you know what? I want people to think I have my stuff together.
And what's that about? If there's anything that we should get at this age, it should be the ability to let that go. And I think the harder it is for them to do, the more relatable they are. And when they succeed at it, when they succeed at reclaiming their voice, as she said, or just understanding that there's still value to who they are, even in an industry that might keep saying no. Just that is something that we deserve.
Yeah.
We deserve it, like in this country, we deserve it in this world. We deserve it as women. We deserve it as women that are getting older and getting better. So it's an underdog story that has a victorious, song to it that I feel resonates even bigger than like the idea that, of what the show is about.
I can't.
But also, wait, can I just say, like, all of us on this Zoom, I would say, are like in our prime now. You know what I mean? And if you had told me that at age 23, I would have been like, okay, well, you can just take a seat. But I'm so great. Like, I look at the work Paula does and Renee and Hoda, you and your life and my beautiful SB and your, and I just think like, oh, wow, this is where it's at. It's not at 23.
And the audacity to think.
I think women, I grew up as a woman who holds gravity. That's my new word for size. And I really always was living in the potential. Everyone would tell me my potential. You could be this, you could be pretty, you could be this, you could be, and it was always like they were giving you some wisdom, and it was so insulting, but in feeling horrible, but you didn't know, you just were like, okay. And I feel like women so much are always told, you could, if you did this, you could. And really this whole story and this show and the songs and the everything and the way we take it back from the sorry, men, but that kind of controlled our career and gave us the songs, everything. Now we're like, no, we're going to write our own songs. And it's kind of symbolic. We're going to write our own song. We're going to write our own story, and we're going to be a complete sentence, and we're going to be enough. And we're going to be really excited about that.
That was such an empowering moment. That moment right there that you're describing, Paula. And I was thinking, Sarah, because you guys were all in the room and he was playing some horrible, crappy demo and everyone's like, and then finally you guys stand up and you say, no, we actually don't like that. And I just wondered, Sarah, like in real life, you've managed a music career through all this stuff. And I feel like, and I don't know if this is right, but I feel like you've always kind of been like, this is me. Take me or leave me. This is me.
I think that is true. And it was not I think I always want to remind people that it was clumsy and there was so many flaws to that. There were even flaws in the fact that I was so shut down to taking in anybody in a collaborative way. I was so protective of losing myself that I don't even think I opened myself up to people who may have expanded my perspective or augmented my talent in some way. I was so, my dukes were up for such a long time, but hindsight is always 20/20. And I think at that age when I was in my mid 20s when I started my music career, and I had this experience of standing up and being told like, you should sing this song called Just Have Fun. And I'm like, I don't want to. And I left, and of course I'm crying and I'm like, oh, I'm so misunderstood in the world. But then it makes me write love songs, the places where, we hit those hurdles that clarify something. That's the kind of energy of the universe that I get really excited about, because sometimes you have to know what you don't want before you know what you do want. And I think this show really celebrates that.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Paula?
That's when you find out who you are. When you are so afraid to speak up, and then you speak up, and then you go and cry, and then you're like, why am I crying? That's what I believe. That's what I don't like that. I don't want to do it,
Right.
Well, I am so crazy about this show. You guys, I think it's going to be a crazy hit. I mean, I cannot think of a woman friend of mine who would not be glued to this, but you all, it's a home run, and I can't wait. So I just want to say, this is the perfect combination. Hats off to Tina, and hats off to your brilliant writer on this show, and just hats off to you guys. What a great combo.
Thank you.
Thanks, Hoda.
Thank you,
Love
Hoda.
you. Yes, all the way.
What's about to happen on our plaza is you're all going to get your very first COVID vaccine.
I'm excited.
She's excited. 3, 2, 1, champions!
So grateful.
That close to crying.
Here we go.
Right now on NBC News Now.
Here in Chicago, about 20,000 middle schoolers returning to school today.
They also took advantage of existing vaccine distribution networks throughout Alaska.
Tonight, the CDC's new outdoor mask guidelines. What changed that allowed this new recommendation to be made? If we do nothing, what happens to a city like Houston?
You're going to repeat this movie over and over again.
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
It has been a long year.
Yeah, where it's been anything but normal.
Well, now there's hope. The COVID vaccines.
I know. It's been a little confusing.
Like really confusing. So it's more important than ever to make a plan. Visit planyourvaccine.com
to find out where and when to get your vaccine.
What are you waiting for? Roll up your sleeves and plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Killer Roll, the new podcast from Dateline. Subscribe now wherever you listen.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright.
Are you ready? Half of all U.S. adults now fully vaccinated.
A huge lift is underway for one of the most celebrated cities in this country, Cleveland, Ohio.
This is the greatest location in the nation.
We're having a baby.
Wow.
The big reveal is under the lid.
Hey now.
Things are looking brighter, so we want to help you find the fun in 21.
Music is back.
Y'all were exactly what we needed.
Killer Roll, the new podcast from Dateline. Subscribe now wherever you listen.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
The name Busy is fitting for our next guest because Busy Phillips has a lot going on. She is a New York Times bestselling author, podcast host, actor, and a mom.
Her career took off with Freaks and Geeks, a cult classic TV series set in the 80s about friends at a Michigan high school.
Well, now, Busy is starring in a new Peacock original comedy. It's executive produced by Tina Faye, Girls Five Ever. That's what it's called, Girls Five Ever. Remember that. It follows once famous 90s pop stars who are trying to reclaim their celebrity status.
Summer, you're home.
Always. Oh, I just heard us during Peloton. We are back. What are we going to do? You know, Carnival has a 90s themed cruise that goes around the Pacific Garbage Patch.
No. I just have your licensing check. It expires on Friday, so. Oh, and I brought you this baby gift that I've had for you for like 5 ever.
That is so sweet. Thank you. Oh, come. You have to meet Stevia, but don't touch her. She's not vaccinated.
It's timely.
Busy Phillips up early. Good to see you. Thank you for getting up.
Oh, it's so great to see you. Well, guys, I'm on the East Coast now, so this is
that's true. Oh, so it's not that early.
Yeah.
Is it true, Busy, that when this opportunity came along, you actually thought about not returning to acting?
Well, the truth is that I was planning on not returning to acting. And then Tina Faye called me and said, hey, I have this part on a TV show where you would be playing essentially, you know, grown-up Spice Girl kind of, you know, a girl from a 90s band, a girl group who, you know, is now in her 40s, and they attempt to come back, and Sarah Bareilles and Renee Elise Goldsberry are already signed on, and Meredith Scardino, who created the show and wrote the script. And I just think you are the person to play Summer. And I guess at that point you're like, well, I mean, you can't say no to Tina Faye. And then to live the dream of being a 90s pop group. I mean, I was like, I have one question. Are there flashbacks? And she's like, yes. And I said, do I get to play myself in the flashbacks? And she said yes. And I was like, I'm in.
You know, and there are so many levels to it, too, because first of all, you guys can all really sing. Like, each of you can hold your own mega concert, but put all of you guys together. So that's one. And then also, it's fun to watch. I heard you guys talking with Hoda a little earlier this morning. There's a message in there, too. I mean, you know, you're 40, you're 50, or you're 60. You can still have great things ahead of you, you know?
Yeah, and I think, you know, we talked about this with Hoda, like, to me, when I look at even just the ladies on the show, when I look at so many women in my life, so many of my friends, they're really now hitting their stride in so many ways, career-wise, family-wise, you know, and I just personally feel like, you know, at 23, 24, when I started out, I mean, I started out in this business at 19, but, you know, I didn't know that my 40s were going to be the thing. It's going to be the best, you know?
And look at you now.
And, I mean, here we are.
So tell us about your character, Summer. I mean, I feel like in girls groups, especially in the 90s, they all just had that different thing about them that made them special. What makes Summer so special?
Right. Well, yeah, I think that the typical thing in those sort of put together girl groups is that they each were given a personality, right? You know, like this was who this one is. Like this one's the singer,
You're right.
This one's the sporty one. So Summer's really like, she's very sweet. She's been living this life since the girl group where, you know, she's really just been living for the past fame. She's married to a man who was in a boy band.
Of course.
Yes. Their daughter is an internet influencer, and she has been trying to get back into the limelight basically since she was kicked out of the limelight. So she's very excited about the possibility for a comeback, but she doesn't particularly have any real ideas or really can't offer much in terms of how to make that happen, except for enthusiasm.
There you go.
Busy
Well, you have the
Phillips.
enthusiasm, too, which we love.
Busy thing.
Congratulations to Lester Holt, the most trusted TV news anchor in America, on receiving the prestigious Edward R. Murrow Lifetime Achievement Award for a career dedicated to excellence in journalism.
I'm rolling up my sleeves for science, so I'll survive if I contract this virus. For family dinners, family vacations, family anything. For traveling somewhere beyond my living room. And for the Rebels, there is no greater feeling than being in the stadium and cheering on Ole Miss. And now it's your turn. Roll up your sleeves, America. Plan your vaccine, because every shot counts. Visit planyourvaccine.com and make your plan.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright.
Half of all U.S. adults now fully vaccinated.
Al is in Cleveland for our Reopening America series.
This is the greatest location in the nation.
Music is back.
Y'all were exactly what we needed.
Congratulations to Lester Holt, the most trusted TV news anchor in America, on receiving the prestigious Edward R. Murrow Lifetime Achievement Award for a career dedicated to excellence in journalism.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Killer Roll, the new podcast from Dateline. Subscribe now wherever you listen.
Renee Elise Goldberry is the Tony-winning actress who played Angelica Schuyler in Lin-Manuel Miranda's hit Broadway smash Hamilton, which, by the way, in case you were wondering, it started streaming this summer.
Did it? I think everybody knows that. But now the multi-talented actress is in the fast lane in DreamWorks' animated Fast and Furious Spy Racers. She plays Miss Nowhere, a secret agent who recruits thrill-seeking teen drivers to infiltrate a criminal street racing circuit.
And guys, that's not enough. She's got another big project. She's working with Tina Faye. Renee, good morning. Good morning. Tell us what it's like, the great Tina Faye. I mean, she's usually right across the street from us here at 30 Rock. What's it like working with her?
She is one of those people, oh my gosh, now especially because she has to wear a mask.
all of that amazingness, awesomeness that she is, she comes in the room and you don't even know she's there. She's just like this brilliant person that whispers in your ear as she walks by. Kind of like the best of us. She can be so unassuming, which is what's so amazing about her talent being so great.
You play a role that really is a dream role for many singers. You play a member of a girl group who had a one-hit wonder. Is that like a dream?
You know, it is a dream, actually. It's so funny. The idea of being in a one-hit wonder group back in the day for me seemed like I had not made it, but right now I would love to have one hit. This group, it's a group of women who had a big hit in the 90s, and we end up getting another chance about 20 years later. So it's the fun of watching slightly older women, reclaim their joy and reclaim their power. It's hilarious. It's Busy Phillips, Paula Pell, Sarah Bareilles, me.
Paula Pell is one of the funniest.
I love that. And Sarah.
Oh my gosh, she's so funny.
Isn't she so funny?
You're getting a call. No, you're getting a call. It's okay.
Don't worry.
By the way, you said slightly older. I want to emphasize the slightly.
We are cooking up some exciting things this week in the brand new Today All Day Kitchen. Up next on #Cooking, Samadada. We'll show you how to rescue any brown spotty bananas with 2 tasty treats: chocolate chip banana bread bars and a banana cream cheesecake that just happens to be dairy-free.
Welcome to #Cooking. The next time you see some nearly perished, super ripe bananas sitting on your counter, wondering what will become of their existence, like, will we get thrown away today? Don't toss them, please save them. Rescue the spotty bananas, #save the spotty bananas, and make these recipes. I'm gonna show you 2 of my favorite ways to use those super ripe bananas sitting on your counter: my chocolate chip banana bread bars and my banana cream cheesecake that happens to be dairy-free. Let's get #Cooking. Just for 1 second, okay, I want you to forget about those microwave packets of oatmeal. And we're gonna give oatmeal a glamorous moment with these chocolate chip banana bread bars. I've already preheated my oven to 375 degrees, and now all I'm going to do is prepare my pan. So what I've done here, greased it with some coconut oil so our parchment paper doesn't stick, right? So I've got that here. I'm just gonna stick it right into the pan. The coconut oil helps it stick, right? So this is nice. Make sure we're hitting all of the edges of the pan. And what's nice is that we're creating these flaps, okay? The flaps are really nice because when it's done baking, we'll be able to easily lift the batter out of the pan and have our bars all ready. What's great about using super ripe bananas in recipes is that they're naturally a lot sweeter and a lot easier to mash into different recipes. Got 2 here. We're rescuing them. We're giving them a second life, a second chance at life. They love us for this. Throwing the peels away. Gonna peel this one. Like so. Pop that in. See you later. Okay, and now we're just gonna mash. This is kind of where you can get your aggression of the day out into these bananas, okay? I wanna mash them until they're really nice and smooth. And like I said, because they're a bit riper, it's gonna be a lot softer and easier to mash. Not to mention it's gonna impart a lot of that really nice, sweet, ripe flavor of the bananas into this oatmeal bar recipe. And because they're super ripe, we're actually not gonna use a bunch of sugar to sweeten this recipe because it's gonna pull a lot of that natural sweetness from the bananas. Have I convinced you to not throw your bananas away yet? Just wondering. Okay. Really take your time here, like I am. Okay. I want no banana to feel unmashed. I want it to feel all loved and mashed, okay? All right. And you can use a potato masher here if you have that, if you like that utensil for your life. I'm just using a fork because you know what? Forks are accessible. Okay. So this is looking pretty good. I have to compliment myself on my mashing abilities. Looks pretty smooth. And now we're just gonna work on the rest of our ingredients. All right. So, in this recipe, I'm using 2 eggs, so I'm gonna crack those both in here. I wanna be that type of person that does like the one-handed egg crack. I'm not that person. I'm safe. I take precautions. All right. Okay, now I'm gonna whisk the eggs and the bananas together. So everything is nice and smooth. Look at those amber yolks. It's pretty nice. Bananas and eggs whisked together. They look nice and smooth, really happy in there. Now I'm gonna add my nut butter. So I'm actually using peanut butter here, but if you have a cashew butter at home, if you have an almond butter, that's totally fine. You do you. Whatever nut butters you're harboring in your pantry. I know I have like a million because I have a problem, but you can use that. I'm gonna slide that straight in there. Now I'm gonna mix that in. All right, and then I'm gonna add my melted and cooled coconut oil, my vanilla extract, and if you haven't noticed already, the best part about this recipe, other than giving your sad bananas a second life, is the fact that we're making everything in one bowl. Like, you can thank me later for the less dishes that you'll have to do in your life, okay? I'm just using a touch of coconut sugar. Gonna add that in there, and then some maple syrup. It's gonna really give this nice, warm, golden flavor to these oatmeal bars. Now that I've mixed all my wet ingredients together, I'm gonna grab my oatmeal, the star of the show. It's about to be super glamorous. Add it straight in here, along with some cinnamon. I love cinnamon, I think it's amazing, but you can totally use another spice if you want. You can use maybe a nutmeg if you like that better. I'll leave that choice up to you. And then some baking powder. And then, I'm gonna mix everything together. Make sure everyone just becomes friends in here. Make sure we grab the edges, the sides of the bowl, incorporate it really nicely. It smells so good. Just wait till it's done baking though. That's good stuff. Okay. Now finally, this is a bit of the dessert for breakfast moment that I like to really capture in all aspects of my life, the chocolate chips. Just gonna fold these in. I will add, I don't measure these with anything but my soul. That's just how I choose to live my life, but again, you live yours the way you wanna live yours. I'm gonna fold that in, and you're probably wondering like, Sama, why do you have some of these left over? Because I wanna save some for the top. Because for me, it's not less is more. When it comes to chocolate, not a thing for me. Okay, folding this in nicely until all the chocolate chips are just really nestled in there. We want them to be cozy. Okay, perfect. Now, I love myself for being prepared. We've got our parchment lined pan, and I'm just gonna add it straight into there. So lift this up. I don't know if I mentioned this, but this is my workout for the day, this movement right here. All right, so we're gonna add this straight in there. Get everything out. Scrape the sides. Oh my God, I cannot leave that chocolate chip behind. That would be so sad. Okay. And then I'm just gonna spread it out throughout the pan so it's nice and evenly distributed. Okay, because I am me, I'm gonna add some more chocolate chips on top, just for aesthetics. I like to take nice photos of my food. It's also really fun to make it presentable and looks pretty, too pretty to eat, but not really because we will be eating it. Okay, and then the last thing that I wanna do is add a banana on top. This is again, purely for me to have some nice aesthetics for my photographs, and that's fine. That's again how I choose to live my life. So what I'm gonna do is just cut it right at the tip of the banana, slice it straight through like this. Okay? And now, I'm just gonna peel this off like I normally would. And then you've got 2 perfect halves of banana. Pretty easy. I'm gonna lift this straight out and I'm gonna place it on to my bars, like that. And then the other half. And then I'm gonna add 1 more for the middle. Go ahead. And again, I have a piece of oatmeal on my finger. Really didn't want to be baked. Okay. And go from the top. Slice it straight down the middle. Peel this guy off. Look at that. Add that straight in there. We're gonna nestle it down nicely. Wants to feel secure, wants to feel at home. And now I'm just gonna add a little dusting of cinnamon on top, partially because I love cinnamon and partially because I want it to look really nice. Okay, now we're gonna take a little journey in the oven for about 22 to 25 minutes. Let's go. All right, hope you enjoy your time in there.
Our week-long journey begins here in Orlando, Louisville, Kentucky, Cleveland. Our across-America journey reporting on an America rebuilding and reimagining a future after the pandemic. Breaking news tonight, the ceasefire in the Middle East after 11 days of deadly violence. Richard Engel is on the ground. Do you think there's a connection between policing and racism? How narrow a window do you have to really get kids back where we would want them to be?
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Right now on NBC News Now.
They've done things like installing cameras to help alert Border Patrol to people crossing. They are escaping a number of conditions there, violence and persecution in their home countries.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright. Are you ready? We're going to do our part to spread the word on the importance of vaccines, so crucial for reopening America.
A big day around here, a very special naturalization ceremony.
Many of them doctors, nurses, other essential workers.
If you are a nurse, thank you.
Spring has sprung, guys, and we want to fill this season with some fun and surprises.
Yes.
This is the face of excitement. Celebrating Earth Day.
Let's change the world.
Love it!
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Killer Roll, the new podcast from Dateline. Subscribe now wherever you listen.
All right, we've let it cool for about 10 minutes, and now, see, this is why we love being prepared with the parchment paper. We get to just lift this straight out of the pan, and then there's no oatmeal bar that's been left behind, like that. Okay, so the best thing about these bars, other than the fact that we're saving so many bananas' lives, is that they're super portable. So I'm just gonna slice them into little bars. You can take them on the go. You can just also have a nice sit-down oatmeal moment at home. You choose whatever you'd like to do. I love the corner piece. I'm just one of those people. Don't know why. Just crispy and caramelized on the edges, it's so good. Look at that, delicious. And now remember these chocolate chips that I had saved for the top? See, this is why. I'm also gonna add just a little bit of powdered sugar, just to get that nice contrast. A little bit there. Just on the rest of my bars. It's really pretty. Oh, went a little heavy-handed over there. Okay, so now I'm gonna take a few pictures of it because I didn't put that powdered sugar, that banana, those chocolate chips on for nothing. All right. There we go. I'm really getting the shot. Little video. Get the inside. Okay, you know what? I think we got the shot. It's my time to taste. I'm pretty excited about this. Mmm. It's so good. You know what's really nice about this as well? It's not too sweet. So it's really great if you'd like to even add a little drizzle of honey on top, maybe a little more peanut butter, almond butter, whatever you have to kind of create this nice sit-down oatmeal moment at home. It's like banana bread, but it's a little more textured from the oatmeal, and then you've got the chocolate chips that are totally giving it this like cookie dough vibe. I would eat cookie dough for breakfast, and I am kind of. Delish. You know, this has inspired me, and I have a lot more ripe bananas in my kitchen, so I think we might have to make my banana cream cheesecake. I'm gonna go grab the ingredients.
The Meet the Press Chuck Todd Cast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Ready actors. An indie horror film, a talented young actress, and a deadly shot. Dateline's newest podcast, Killer Roll. Action! Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright. We're going to do our part and get vaccinated live.
A very special naturalization ceremony.
This is a really inspiring group.
Celebrating Earth Day.
Let's change the world.
Love it!
Our Across America journey here in Louisville, Kentucky. Cleveland. Reporting on an America rebuilding after the pandemic.
How narrow a window do you have to really get kids back where we would want them to be?
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
The Meet the Press Chuck Todd Cast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Killer Roll, the new podcast from Dateline. Subscribe now wherever you listen.
Okay, do you want to know something crazy about this cheesecake? You don't have to bake it. No ovens are involved. We're just gonna pop it into the freezer to make it, which kind of means it's a cross between an ice cream bar and a cheesecake. Two things I really can't live my life without. So let's make it. The first thing I'm gonna do is prepare my pan with some parchment paper. So what I'm gonna do is just line it straight into the pan, and I'm creating these flaps on the sides so that it's gonna be super easy to lift the cheesecake up after it's done freezing. Just like that. And now it's ready for our crust to find a home in it. So this crust is gonna be really nice and textured. It's gonna be a little crumbly, it's gonna be crispy. Because it's gonna have a really nice creamy filling to go on top of it, I wanted to create that contrast. Everything is gonna come together in this food processor. Starting with some raw almonds as the base. This is gonna give that really nice crispy, crunchy element to the crust. Gonna toss that in there. And now, to sweeten the crust up, we're gonna use some dates. I love dates, not the romantic kind, the medjool kind, okay? So we're gonna add these in. This gives a really nice caramel sweetness to the crust, and also it's gonna allow it to be a little bit sticky and pliable so we can actually just stick it straight into our pan. And now we're gonna add a little bit of creamy almond butter. That's straight inside. You can also use the peanut butter if that's what you have on hand, totally fine with me. I won't judge you. A bit of melted and cooled coconut oil going in there as well. A touch of vanilla extract. And then I like to use a little pinch of salt. This is gonna bring out that natural sweetness and create a bit of a contrast. Perfect. gonna scrape down the sides just to make sure nobody is caught, nobody is left behind, and process it again. We're looking good. We want it to be crumbly, but there's also gonna be some of those pieces that remain. Now it's time to just pack it into our pan. Okay. Oh no. It says precious crust, precious cargo. We can't waste any of it. Now all I'm gonna do is just press it into my pan. Like this. And you wanna make sure it's evenly distributed throughout the entire pan, and you can kind of see that it's sticking together as I tend to pack it. This is gonna serve as a really nice home for our creamy, luscious cheesecake filling. It's gonna be really happy sitting on top of here. We don't want the edges of this pan to feel unloved. We want the crust to be in there too, so make sure you get those corners as well. Okay. I think this looks pretty good if I ask myself. We're done packing the crust into the pan, and now I'm gonna go grab the ingredients for our filling.
Ready, actors. An indie horror film, a talented young actress, and a deadly shot. Dateline's newest podcast, Killer Roll. Action! Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Our Across America journey here in Louisville, Kentucky. Cleveland. Reporting on an America rebuilding after the pandemic.
How narrow a window do you have to really get kids back where we would want them to be?
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright. Are you ready? We're going to do our part to spread the word on the importance of vaccines, so crucial for reopening America.
A big day around here, a very special naturalization ceremony.
Many of them doctors, nurses, other essential workers.
If you are a nurse, thank you.
Spring has sprung, guys, and we want to fill this season with some fun and surprises.
Yes.
This is the face of excitement.
Celebrating Earth Day.
Let's change the world.
Love it!
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright. We're going to do our part and get vaccinated live.
A very special naturalization ceremony.
This is a really inspiring group.
Celebrating Earth Day.
Let's change the world.
Love it!
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app. Killer Roll, the new podcast from Dateline. Subscribe now wherever you listen.
The secret about this cheesecake filling is that it's actually made from cashews. They're super rich and buttery, so they're the perfect ingredient to make really creamy sauces and fillings like we're gonna do in this cheesecake. But to get it there, we need to first soak them. You always want to make sure you're starting with raw cashews. These are completely raw and unsalted. And you can either soak them overnight if you have patience and time, or you can do what I did, flash soak them for 1 hour in hot water until they're nice and soft. You are not going to believe how creamy this cheesecake filling is going to be. We're starting with our raw and soaked cashews, going straight into our blender. Right in there. We're following it up with some coconut milk. I'm using full-fat coconut milk here. We're not messing around with the low-fat kind. Perfect for a really rich and creamy cheesecake filling. And I think this is a really great time to mention that this is a non-dairy recipe. I don't know if you've noticed, but all of you non-dairy folks out there, rejoice because this is for you. Time for our banana, our star. We rescued it from its fate in the trash, perhaps. All right, pop that straight in there. Just breaking it up so it's a bit easier to blend. And now we're gonna go in with our maple syrup. The ripe banana is really nice because it's super sweet already, but the maple syrup is just gonna pull it all together. I really like using maple syrup here because it's a really nice, warm, and golden contrast to those rich and creamy cashews. In there, and then a little touch of vanilla extract. Perfect. All right, we're gonna add some melted and cooled coconut oil. Just a touch. Now we're gonna add some lemon juice. This is super important because you've got rich ingredients like the cashews and the full-fat coconut milk. So we want the lemon juice to give it that zing and really balance out those rich ingredients. I'm using this to catch the seeds. At home, you can even just put your fingers underneath the lemon and then catch the seeds in your hands. Little DIY. And then to balance everything out, balance that sweetness, bring it out a little bit, I'm gonna add a little pinch of salt. Okay, now it's time to blend. Okay. You just really cannot believe it. It's so smooth and so creamy. I want to show you a little peek. Look at that. I'm gonna taste it a little and see if I think it needs anything. Taste a bit. I'm gonna add a little more lemon juice and a little more salt. You can totally adjust this to your liking. I just like a little more zing, and that salt's gonna really bring out that sweetness. Okay, we're gonna blend again. My fresh spoon and taste one more time. Perfect. All right, now it's time for this filling to find a home on top of our crust. And there's no dairy in this. Kind of crazy. I'm gonna grab my spatula. This is precious. I can't waste a bit. Now I'm just gonna make sure that's nice and smooth. You can even tap it a little bit to distribute it like this. Shake it around, make sure it hits all the edges. Now, I like to pretend I'm Picasso a little bit with the toppings. You can use whatever you'd like, but I'm gonna use some sliced almonds straight on top. Sprinkle them around. I'm gonna do a little bit of cinnamon. More. And finally, just a little pinch of flaky sea salt. Okay, don't be mad at me because now we have to wait a little bit. We're gonna put this in the freezer for 5 hours, but I promise you it is going to be worth it. Now I'm just gonna cover it with some plastic wrap so that it's protected, and it goes into the freezer for its kind of long journey. And then it's ready. See, patience is so worth it. I'm so excited about this. Just gonna remove my plastic wrap. Look at that. We almost don't deserve it. All right, this is why the parchment paper flaps are the best. We just lift it straight out of the pan like this. And now all I'm gonna do is slice them into little cheesecake bars. What you can also do is slice them into fingers as well if you want more of a bite-sized snack. I'm gonna go ahead for the full picture, the full bar. Look at this. I just have to show you. Can you believe that there's no dairy in this? Looks so creamy. All right, that's for me. This is my slice. I am so excited to dig into this. All right, here I go. It's simply not even fair. It's so creamy. It's such a great way to use the nearly perished banana that's been sitting on your counter. Creamy, you would never have any idea there wasn't any dairy in this. You know what? I really wish I could eat all of these myself, and I probably would, but I'm gonna be a little nice. I'm gonna send a picture to some friends and see if they wanna have some. Yes, they usually do. No one really ever says no. I mean, why would you? Wouldn't make sense, it's so good. I think I'm gonna deliver some to their houses. I'm such a good friend. Ready? Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go actually. Okay. Okay, Sue. Guess what I brought you? Your favorite banana cream cheesecake. I made it for your birthday.
Oh, this is my favorite. Thank you.
You're welcome. I did the same like date and almond crust that you like. It kind of does. Let's do a smoothie on top of it.
2 Dadas eat.
2 Dadas eat. 2 Dada eats. Dada eats squared.
Dada eats.
Eh? Dada eats is.
We are back. I'm Anthony Contrino, and it is time to get saucy. We've got a brand new kitchen and new episodes coming your way this summer. Tune in to Today All Day, Mondays at 11 a.m.
Looking forward to this one. This morning, we're joined by 2 Saturday Night Live veterans. Fred Armisen, been making us laugh for decades since he first broke out back in 2002. And current star Beck Bennett, back for his 8th season on SNL.
Well, now they are teaming up away from 30 Rock in the new animated movie, The Mitchells versus the Machines. They play, naturally, 2 malfunctioning robots who try to help the Mitchell family save the world from a robot apocalypse.
Brother, we should go.
No, I order you to stop.
Okay.
We are just stopping because we chose to.
No, we're not.
We are humans.
We are.
For example, we consume food in the traditional human manner. Observe. Yum, yum, good. Yum, yum, good. See? No, actually, we are robots. Let us go downstairs and find the humans who you cannot give orders to.
I say the same thing to my son. Yum, yum, good. Yum, yum, good. Beck and Fred, good morning. It's so nice to have you with us.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's great to be here.
Well, I think I teed up the premise of this show pretty well, but Fred, can you dive in a little bit more and tell us what this movie's about?
It's about a robot apocalypse where they take over the world, but there's one family left over to fight them. And they utilize these 2 robots to help them survive.
So Beck, I know you're currently with SNL. Fred, you've been. It's basically one of the most collaborative shows on TV, both behind the scenes and ahead of it. But yet, you have to record your scenes and your lines separately. Was that tough for you, Beck?
Oh yeah, for this movie, it wasn't tough because I just have so much fun by myself. I get in around, and I'm free to be myself. You know, Fred's not there holding me back. I can just go.
Fred, what was it like?
What about?
Do you feel that same individuality?
I didn't realize that he was going to be in the movie. I just thought it was going to be me. I thought it was a solo thing. So then
so you thought it was just going to be you doing the robots, and then I was in the movie.
Yeah.
Doing another
Yes, I found out just now.
Just now.
Yes.
Just so, but you knew we were going to be doing this together. What did you think was? Why did you think I was coming on here?
I thought it was your birthday. I thought it was like a birthday greeting.
Oh my God, that is so sweet, Fred. Thank you, but no.
So, no. Hey guys, one of your hosts coming up is in the news. Elon Musk is going to be hosting SNL, and there's been some controversy about that. I'll spare you any problems, Beck. I'll ask Fred since he's not on the show now. What do you think about that, Fred?
Oh, I think it's great. It's going to be fun and entertaining, and I always like the surprise of the hosts at SNL. If it's sports figures or whoever, it's always it always delivers on that. So I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Beck, do you think when new people come in, to guest host the show, are they nervous to do it? Are they looking for advice? Are they looking for ways for you guys to make them feel more comfortable?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's all they're looking for because it's all last minute and the show comes together really on Wednesday night. After the table read, you pick the show. So I think they're a little, the show gets so much better every day. So yeah, I think they're definitely looking for us to be like, relax, it's fine, we got you, just follow our lead and read the cue cards. And yeah, absolutely. We are 100% there to put them at ease. They should do whatever we say. They're like clay in our hands.
Okay.
It's great.
Are you hoping to get a free Tesla out of the deal?
Absolutely, 100%. Thank you for asking. Sometimes the hosts give guests to the cast, and I would love for Mr. Musk to, impress us all, not only impress the cast, but impress the world with his generosity.
Maybe you can get on the next space flight to outer space.
Yes. A ticket on space flight and a Tesla, whatever he's got would be great. I will take whatever he has.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We could have just teed you up and let you guys talk to each other the whole time. Thank you.
Isn't that what we did?
You're welcome.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
Pretty much. Guys, good to see you.
I joined Ellen on her set. What's been a difficult year for her personally and for her show.
Very few people go through such huge public humiliation. How can I be an example of strength and perseverance if I give up and run away?
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Congratulations to Lester Holt, the most trusted TV news anchor in America, on receiving the prestigious Edward R. Murrow Lifetime Achievement Award for a career dedicated to excellence in journalism.
It has been a long year.
Yeah, where it's been anything but normal.
Well, now there's hope. The COVID vaccines.
I know. It's been a little confusing.
Like really confusing. So it's more important than ever to make a plan. Visit planyourvaccine.com
to find out where and when to get your vaccine.
What are you waiting for? Roll up your sleeves and plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright.
Half of all U.S. adults now fully vaccinated.
Al is in Cleveland for our Reopening America series.
This is the greatest location in the nation.
Music is back.
Y'all were exactly what we needed.
Killer Roll, the new podcast from Dateline. Subscribe now wherever you listen.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Actress and comedian Melissa Villaseñor broke barriers when she became the first ever Latina cast on Saturday Night Live. And now audiences cannot get enough on her. You know her because of her crazy impressions. Everybody from Dolly to Lady Gaga to John Mulaney. She's got them all.
She can do it all. Yeah. Thursday night, you'll find Melissa bringing the laughs all night long as host of the Film Independent Spirit Awards. And here she is to tell us all about it. Hey, Melissa.
Hi, Melissa.
Hold on, Jenna. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Girl,
thank you for getting up.
We love that you rise and shine on the West Coast. And we were just looking back in our vault, and we realized that you actually auditioned for Saturday Night Live when you were just a babe, 21 years old, and that was back in 2009. You didn't get the gig until 2016. Did you think that would be one of those elusive things, like I always wanted SNL, but didn't know if I'd ever get it?
Oh, yeah. I felt like after I didn't get it, I was like, well, gotta go find something else then. I think I think I wanted to study geology and rocks, and I don't know what I was doing. And then I got into clay figurines. But then I always knew I had to be on stage. I had to make people laugh. So I just got back on, doing stand-up, and it unfolded in a beautiful way.
Yeah, you kept at it, which I think is so awesome. And we have to say, we are obsessed with your Dolly Parton.
Obsessed.
Obsessed. We're obsessed with her.
Well, good morning. It's a really beautiful day.
I love her too. She's so positive and uplifting. I got obsessed with her audiobook Dream More when I was in quarantine alone. And she just became like a best friend listening to her. She's just,
well, I'm from the Smoky Mountains, and then she always would still tell stories of like, You know, we didn't have toys growing up. We played with mud, and that was so much fun.
By the way, wait, when you were a little kid, were you always impersonating like your aunts and uncles and all that?
I think so. I was very shy, and then it wasn't until I was like 12, 13 years old, I realized I could do impressions and singing impressions. Because I was very shy up until then, but once I found out that gift, I was like, well, now. It was just special, and yeah.
You know, you're bringing your talent to the Independent Spirit Awards, which has been hosted by all of these comedians.
Yes.
In years past. And here you come. Are you excited?
Oh, I'm so excited. It's going to be great. We taped most of it, and it's cool that I love the segments I did, the scenes and characters, and I can't wait for people to see it. It's an honor to host it.
Are you going to be singing?
Actually, yes, there's a song in there.
We can't wait to hear what that is.
All right, we want to play a game with you. We're going to call it Impressions Confessions. We're going to ask you some rapid-fire questions, and then you have to tell us what it was. All right.
Okay, first one. Ready? Right. First impression you ever did.
Britney Spears, oh baby, oh yeah. Sometimes I run.
It was Britney.
I love it. All right, impression that's guaranteed to get a laugh.
Owen Wilson. Every show, if I just say, you guys like my Owen, and they're like, yeah. So, yeah, they love Owen, yeah. I bring a lot of calmness to the crowd. They like the yeah, wow.
Oh my God, that's so good. Okay, impression that you're working on, but it hasn't made it to air yet.
Oh, I have a Lily Tomlin. Now I feel like so overwhelmed. I left my bag at the beach, and I lost the sandwich. I was so hungry. That one.
Last sandwich. First impression where you actually heard back from the celebrity who you were doing.
Ana Navarro, okay? I've done her a few times on the View sketch, and she tweeted and messaged me, and she's like, honey, you can impersonate me anytime you want. I love it. It makes me laugh. See, this is what we love. Latinas, we love laughing at things. Voice, you know?
Well,
Melissa,
thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having
me. That was fun.
Come back and make us laugh.
We are back at 8:35 with one of the funniest ladies we know, Maya Rudolph.
She's got a new animated comedy coming out, and I can't even believe that you got to sit down with her, and not the way we've been sitting down with people on Zoom.
It was so funny because we saw each other, and then we were like, we really didn't know how to act. It was one of my first in-person interviews of the pandemic. We met up here in New York. We had a socially distant chat about Maya's new Netflix project, her epic return to SNL as host, and what she learned while quarantining with her family.
Maya, I think this might be my first in-person interview in more than a year.
It's definitely mine.
I don't know how to act.
I know.
One thing that hasn't changed is Maya Rudolph's ability to make us laugh.
That's the law. Mom law, because I'm the sheriff.
And in her latest role for Netflix animated comedy, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, she does just that. As the voice of a mom that saves the world from a technological revolution, along with her dysfunctional but loving family.
The Posies are on vacation right now, and look how happy they are. It's a nice, messy, sweet, loving family in the middle of saving the world.
Machines taking over.
Sure.
Which could happen. Your Roomba could come alive and get you.
I would not be surprised if I woke up in the middle of the night and it was just staring at me.
Rudolph knows a thing or two about managing family mayhem, especially after the past year.
Did you enjoy all the time at home with all you've got your partner, your 4 kids, everybody's under the same roof?
Yeah, and 3 dogs. I genuinely am still enjoying it.
She also joined the quarantine bread train.
I did make sourdough bread.
Is that a new skill?
I mean, yes.
It does feel like one of the harder breads you could have tried.
It's exhausting. It's really hard.
Something else she picked up this past year, a couple of Emmys, including one for her guest appearance on SNL playing Vice President Kamala Harris.
That's right. The senator from California is present. I watched a lot of people at the show playing the president or the vice president, and all the political characters, and there really wasn't anybody that resembled me, and I wasn't really part of that, but it's such a legacy and such a rite of passage, particularly at that show as well.
What does it take to nail Kamala?
It's the wig. It's a great blazer, and then I started to get, maybe just a little bit of like the way she talks in the back of her throat, but what I notice about her is she's so smiley.
After leaving the SNL cast in 2007, Rudolph recently returned to Studio 8H, this time as host, reprising some of her most beloved and famous roles.
Now I feel you. I still can't tell if this is beneath me.
How good did it feel to step into Beyonce's wig one more time?
It felt so good. I always liken playing her to when a little girl dresses up as their favorite princess.
It's like a crown that was waiting for you to put it back on your head.
It was a dream come true.
Beyond SNL, her part in the 2011 comedy Bridesmaids may be her most recognizable. The iconic film celebrating its 10th anniversary this year.
Why can't you just be happy for me and then go home and talk behind my back later like a normal person?
Could you have ever guessed what a cultural moment that movie would be?
No. We were having so much fun when we made it, and we knew it was funny, but we were just enjoying it. We weren't planning for a blockbuster sort of takeover thing, but the fact that it's been 10 years is kind of crazy.
Well, I'm sure you've been asked this 1,000 times. Everybody wants another one.
I know.
But I think the director said no.
I know. Listen, if they want to do it, they know I told you, anybody that knows me well, if they want me, I'm like, I'll be there. It would be kind of funny, though, if we did it when we're all super old.
I'm here for that.
I'm here for that. I would revisit that. That would be called Da Old Folks Home. I've still got a bounce in my step, so maybe, give it a good, 40 more years.
We don't want to wait 40 years. Maya is the best. She's just a cool chick.
Yeah, you want to be friends with her after watching that.
I do want to be friends with Maya. I want to be friends with you.
Will you be my friend?
Yeah, she's so cool. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright. We're going to do our part and get vaccinated live.
A very special naturalization ceremony.
This is a really inspiring group. Celebrating Earth Day. Let's change the world. Love it!
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast. Free wherever you get your podcasts.
What's about to happen on our plaza is you're all going to get your very first COVID vaccine.
I'm excited.
She's excited. 3, 2, 1,
so grateful.
Is that close to crying?
Here we go.
Congratulations to Lester Holt, the most trusted TV news anchor in America, on receiving the prestigious Edward R. Murrow Lifetime Achievement Award for a career dedicated to excellence in journalism.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright.
Are you ready?
Half of all U.S. adults now fully vaccinated.
A huge lift is underway for one of the most celebrated cities in this country, Cleveland, Ohio.
This is the greatest location in the nation.
We're having a baby.
Wow.
The big reveal is under the lid.
Hey now.
Things are looking brighter, so we want to help you find the fun in 21.
Music is back.
Y'all were exactly what we needed.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright.
Are you ready?
We're going to do our part to spread the word on the importance of vaccines, so crucial for reopening America.
A big day around here. A very special naturalization ceremony.
Many of them doctors, nurses, other essential workers.
If you are a nurse, thank you.
Spring has sprung, guys, and we want to fill this season with some fun and surprises.
Yes, this is the face of excitement.
Celebrating Earth Day. Let's change the world. Love it!
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Killer Roll, the new podcast from Dateline. Subscribe now wherever you listen.
We're back. It is 8:41. We're back with one of our favorites, actor and comedian Kenan Thompson.
Yeah, he's on our TV every weekend, of course, for Saturday Night Live. In fact, he's SNL's longest-running cast member. He's currently in his 18th season.
Well, now he's also moving to weekdays starting and starring in his very own show. It's got a good title. It's called Kenan. He plays a popular morning show host and widowed father raising 2 young girls with the help of a father-in-law who's just moved in with the family. That's sitcom magic. Check it out.
What was that noise you just made?
You're gonna wake up the girls.
You're the one yelling.
What are you even doing up?
Well, I thought we had a break-in.
And what were you gonna do? Give them the funk?
No, I was going to hit him in the face and then say, "Sax to be you."
Kenan, good morning. We are so excited for you. So happy for you. Like have a network sitcom with just one name, yours, Kenan. I mean, that's just got to be like right up here on the old goals list.
I mean, it's the pinnacle as far as, you know, my comedy career is concerned. Like, that's as high as you can get. A sitcom with your name on it, like, that's it, basically. So I'm very excited.
So you and Lorne Michaels are co-EPs together. Do you feel like pressure in this moment?
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing it up.
Me, Lauren, Jackie Clark, who I created it with, David Casp, and Ken Whittingham, our director, we're all EPing together, and everybody's kind of building this thing together, which makes me feel good. You know, it makes me feel like, number one, I'm not crazy, and number two, everybody kind of wants to get behind this thing. So I'm really excited. The clips look great. The response has been pretty strong. So, you know, I can't wait for tonight.
Yeah, and you know, for folks who may not know, you've got 2 kids of your own. You and your wife have been married 10 years. How much did you draw on your own experiences as a father for this?
When we were writing, it was kind of only in, you know, mirroring my life a little bit. The fact that I do have 2 daughters, and you know, everything else is kind of creative liberty, if you will. Like, my relationship with my father-in-law was actually really wonderful. And my wife is, you know, thank God she's still with me. So everything else is, you know, we're trying to make a show that I haven't seen before. But whenever I'm doing like cooking scenes or like packing up, you know, homework and book bag scenes and stuff like that, it hits very close to home.
I bet.
It's close to home to us, too, because you're playing a morning show host. And, of course, Kenan, we know of your wonderful rendition of our very own Al Roker. Did you draw on that for inspiration?
Well, definitely the energy that you guys have to put into everything early in the morning, regardless of how tired you are or anything else, or trying to keep your life going around it. You know, Al Roker is my brother. I love him to death. He's such a brilliant guy. And the nicest, there he is. Just the nicest glasses
Kenan,
in the world.
How are you?
Best glasses game in the world. I'm great, man. How are you? Good to see you.
Good.
Thumbs up.
Congratulations on the new show. That's fantastic.
Man, thank you very much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You got to watch it.
And if you need somebody to play your dad, I'm available.
Oh, that's good casting right there.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah, Roker's a Broadway veteran. Why not?
Oh, yeah, he'd be great at it.
Hey, get the Rogue Dog in there. Get the Rogue Dog in there.
Hey, Kenan, before we let you get out of here, they're remaking and rebooting everything, and a lot of it's not good. But Kenan and Kel, that was like one of my go-tos back in the day on Nickelodeon. Any chance that you bring back Kenan and Kel?
I mean, there's always a chance, I would think, right? I wanted to see episode of The Fresh Prince when they brought it back. But, you know, it was just a gathering, which is fine. But I really wanted an episode. So if we do it, we have to definitely do an episode.
All right, cool. Kenan, thank you.
Our week-long journey begins here in Orlando, Louisville, Kentucky, Cleveland. Our Across America journey, reporting on an America rebuilding and reimagining a future after the pandemic. Breaking news tonight, the ceasefire in the Middle East after 11 days of deadly violence. Richard Engel is on the ground.
Do you think there's a connection between policing and racism? How narrow a window do you have to really get kids back where we would want them to be?
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. Killer Roll, the new podcast from Dateline. Subscribe now wherever you listen.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright. Are you ready?
Half of all U.S. adults now fully vaccinated.
A huge lift is underway for one of the most celebrated cities in this country, Cleveland, Ohio.
This is the greatest location in the nation.
We're having a baby.
Wow.
The big reveal is under the lid.
Hey now.
Things are looking brighter, so we want to help you find the fun in 21.
Music is back.
Y'all were exactly what we needed.
Killer Roll, the new podcast from Dateline. Subscribe now wherever you listen.
Ready, actors.
An indie horror film, a talented young actress, and a deadly shot. Dateline's newest podcast, Killer Roll.
Action!
Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Bobby Moynihan knows a thing or two about making people laugh, originating fan favorite characters like Drunk Uncle while he was an SNL cast member for 9 seasons.
That.
We just like to watch
We just
his
want to
face.
watch Drunk Uncle.
Yeah.
Now Bobby is at it again, joining the NBC comedy Mr. Mayor. He plays the communications director for the new mayor, played by Ted Danson, and he isn't so great at communicating. Take a look.
Jaden, I found the mayor's little bus speech real original.
It actually wasn't. To save time, I just took his last speech and changed algae bloom to bus passengers.
I was being sarcastic.
Well, you're great at it.
Yeah, Jaden, Twitter has started to notice that we're recycling speeches.
Small businesses are the lifeblood of this city. Reasonably priced produce is the lifeblood of this city. The passing of Archbishop Sheehan is the lifeblood. You're killing me.
Yeah, the comms department may be stretched a little thin.
Why, thank you.
Bobby! All right, Bobby, first of all, thank you. Jen and I were just saying we wanted to laugh, and we're like, thank God Bobby Moynihan is on with us today.
No, thank you. Yeah.
Well, we're going to get to your show in just a minute, but we can't help but talk for a second about SNL. Yes. You were there for 193 episodes because we counted.
Me too.
What if you were to boil it
192, actually. You might be one off.
Oh, really?
We like to give you extra credit, okay?
So tell us.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
When you reflect on that, like, what's like the highlight of that time in your career?
Oh gosh, how long do you have? No, I mean it was the greatest time of my life. I have so many different memories, and they change every week. Seeing this back makes me laugh because I'm like, oh, look at that child, look at that boy filled with hope. It's I mean that's the craziest picture of all time.
I mean,
that's 15-year-old Bobby right there. That makes no sense to me.
Why did they hoist you like that?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
That was I had robbed the place. No, that was my last episode.
Oh.
Yeah, they carried me off stage after my last episode.
I mean, to have Tom Hanks carry you off stage, that's a good
Yeah, very strong, man. Can you believe it? Kenan's back there helping.
When people stop you on the streets, what do they ask for? What characters do they want you to bring back?
When I was on the streets, when I was living on the streets, it was usually Drunk Uncle. Actually, probably Snooki for a long time. Oh. It was Snooki for longer than it should have been.
So you're in this new comedy, Mr. Mayor. We needed you back on TV. We missed you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Me too. Hold on.
You missed yourself.
When I was looking at this, I said, I wonder if this is going to be like kind of politics funny, but it's just funny. Yeah. It's like workplace funny.
Yeah, it's a show about people who are trying to do good things, written by people who are trying to do good things. It's an absolute treat. Watching that clip back, I can't believe I'm sitting next to Holly Hunter and this lucky. I feel like I won a second television lottery with this show. It's amazing. Mike and Vella right there, they're absolutely fantastic. The whole cast is amazing. I love it.
Well, you play a communications director, as we mentioned, who's not that great at communicating. So we wanted to put you to the test to see what you've learned. So as communications director, how would you spin these following situations? Okay, Bobby?
Okay, this is how Jaden would do it.
Okay, good.
My character, Jaden, because I wouldn't know what I was doing.
Okay, so here's what Jaden would say. Your boss's personal emails get leaked, and there's a photo of him in the buff. How do you spin it?
Okay, you Photoshop a little bit more to make yourself a little bit stronger, or something like an alien in the background, so that way you spin it that way, and you're like, there's an alien in the background. That's what Jaden would do.
All right, how about this?
Because he wants aliens to be real.
Real quick, your boss's phone gets hacked. A video comes out about him hating the home team, the LA Dodgers, and rooting for the rival Mets, the New York Mets. How do you spin that?
Mind control. It was mind control. Yeah, it was. You were under a mind control spell, and that's all. That's how you. That's where we're at in 2021 is mind control.
Yeah. All right, Bobby.
Bobby,
Thank
it's so
you.
much fun to see you, and the show is hilarious.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Bye, honey.
Welcome to Today All Day.
All day?
Today, all day.
All day.
This is a long way of asking who's your favorite character you've ever played?
The unicorn. The unicorn. You gotta have the unicorn.
What is she right there? That's why you're saying all these nice things?
Yeah, she gave me the look. Sorry to disturb your day. Everyone's mad at you, Willie.
Better make this fast. I don't want the wrath of Luna.
When I see you, I always think, I wonder what his quote would be.
Give us 6 minutes and we'll ask as many questions as we can.
Welcome to Cold Cuts.
Cold cut, cold cut.
My buddy Cal cooking with me.
Dads don't babysit. It's called parenting.
What was the first book you remember loving?
Heart Smart Today with simple exercises to strengthen your heart. Make the most of your beach days.
It's all about the tracksuit now. How good do they look?
I now pronounce you husband and wife. Kiss the bride.
This morning, a story of people helping people.
You've received tons of letters from people who have been inspired.
Let's do the weather out. Okay. All you gotta do is say, it's cold, it's warm, it's raining, it's snowing. That's it.
One of our most favorite franchises ever, Ambush Makeovers.
Okay.
Look at it. It doesn't look so good.
No, it doesn't look good.
Will you judge us in a cook-off?
I will, and you
Okay.
guys will definitely win something.
Today, all day.
All day?
All day.
Welcome to Today All Day.
Today Bestsellers is created by Today and promoted by Amazon.
Shop Today editorial director Adriana Brock joins us with some of the season's best fashion finds, all under $35.
Okay, be sure to scan that QR code if you want to buy them. It's at the bottom of your screen, or you can just go to today.com/shop. Adriana, good morning. Your first item.
good morning.
It says dress. Now, is that a typo? Because I thought we were in sweatpants still.
Savannah, we are done with the sweatpants.
Okay.
And it's all about the LFD. So that's short for little floral dress. It is one of the biggest trends this summer. And you're already in on this trend, Savannah.
yes,
you're
you
doing
are.
great.
Who knew?
So this one we found, it is the it dress of summer. It comes in over 30 different colors and prints. A ton of sizes from extra small to double extra large. But best of all, it's only $31.99. So it's not going to break the bank. It's the throw and go outfit of the season.
All right, cute. Let's get some jeans. White jeans are hard to pick, but this is a throwback. Gloria Vanderbilt is back with her classics.
Your comb in the back pocket?
I remember.
Yes, what is old is new again, including these classic white jeans. So 35,000 reviewers love these. They're such a bestseller. They come in a bunch of different colors too. So if summer white jeans aren't for you, they've got you covered. A ton of different sizes, up to size 24. And they all have a flattering high-rise fit, the tapered leg. Like I said, it's time to put away the sweats and get dressed up this summer.
I love it. Okay. Adriana, you and I have been trying to convince Hoda that these slide sandals are really in.
They're not.
They are.
Yes,
They're
Hoda,
everywhere.
I promise. These will change your mind, Hoda. So it is all about the slide this summer, including this really stylish pair of woven flat sandals. They're super cute. They come in a bunch of different colors, so you can add a pop of color or neutral to any outfit you already own, whether it's jeans, a dress, all of your summer staples. They come in this really cute crisscross strap or a single strap. Either way, they're only $25.99, and I think that's reasonable enough to get you on this trend, Hoda.
Okay. All right, let's move on. How about those? You know, there are sneakers that I love to wear, but you don't want to lace them all up. You can just slip right in.
Yep.
Let's see.
From slide sandals to slip-on sneakers, we've got you covered. These are really cool sneakers. They're water resistant, lightweight, and super, super comfortable. They're great for on the go. You could pack them in a bag for travel. You can wear them outdoors all summer, and they're breathable, so they're not going to make your feet all hot. These would have been perfect this past weekend in New York City when I was walking around in the sweltering heat, but these are really great and a great value.
A lot of people want to have a hat. They want to bring a hat with them, but it's just too clunky to carry around. Do you have something for them?
Oh, I sure do. I have an amazing solution for that. It is this #1 best-selling sun visor for women. And it's really awesome because it has a beautiful bow detail on the back. You just clip it on. It's really adjustable. But it also has a wide brim that rolls right up. You could see the photo, I think, on the screen right now. Super compact, so you could throw it in your purse. You have no excuse not to be protected all summer long.
If you want to shop these fashion finds, scan the QR code, go to today.com/shop if you want to do it that way. And a reminder, Amazon does have that affiliate relationship with Today. So when you buy a product through our site, Amazon pays Today a small commission.
Today Bestsellers is created by Today and promoted by Amazon.
Shop Today editorial director Adriana Brock is here with a few products that will provide simple solutions for all your summer. And all these products, by the way, under $30. And don't forget, you can shop all along with us. See that little QR code, scan it, and it'll all be there for you. Good morning.
Good morning, Adriana.
Hey, good morning, ladies.
All right, let's get to it. You've got a great swim cover-up that's flattering and breathable.
Okay,
sometimes they can be hot, you know, hot and stuffy.
Guys, I totally hear you on this. This is Amazon's #1 best-selling swimsuit cover-up across all categories, including plus sizes. So it's very flattering on all shapes and sizes, including my bump. I've tried it on. It's amazing. It's so lightweight and breathable. It also dries really, really fast, which is something you need a cover-up at the beach to do.
By the way, that's brilliant.
Look at all the colors and
We're
patterns.
already ordering. All right, let's go to sandals. We need a slide. We need a good one. So what do you have?
We have got the It Summer Sandal right here. It is so lightweight.
Can you explain to Hoda that these are in?
Please,
these are really in. They're like Birkenstocks, right?
Yeah, they're so hot right now, and they're really, really affordable. They're super lightweight, Hoda. They come in a ton of different colors, so don't let these bright colors intimidate you. You can also get neutrals. These have nice arch support. They have an adjustable buckle. You're going to want to pick some up for yourself and the
it's
kids.
like either a croc or that. That's what I feel like, but that's me.
They're really cute. All right, let's go to beauty. A lot of us want to simplify the hair care routine. You know how we feel about frizz. We're anti-frizz. What about for beach waves?
Yeah, so we are all anti-frizz, especially in the summer when the humidity can wreak havoc on your hair. These towels are amazing. They are made with microfiber material, so you're going to dry your hair up to 10 times faster using this versus a regular towel. It also has a really convenient loop and twist system, so you can just pop your hair up, let it dry up, and then you air dry your hair, and you're good to go out the door with less frizz. You can rock your natural beach waves. It is incredible. It also comes in a pack of 2 for about $11, so you can pick one up for yourself and a friend, or you can give one to your daughter, a spouse, anyone. This is an awesome beauty hack that we love.
All right, so if you happen to forget to put sunscreen on, you go outside, you have a fun day at the beach, and you come back and you're all puffy and red. Do you have anything that can help soothe that person? Not me.
Yes, Hoda, I'm
so
glad you asked, because this weekend, I'm sure a lot of us are going to be out in the sun enjoying it a little bit too much, and got to wear your sunscreen. But in case you get a little bit of a sunburn, this tool is the ultimate beauty hack that you can use a ton of different ways. So it's actually designed for skincare. So you use it to depuff your under eye bags. You can depuff any redness. It perks up your skin in the morning. But I love it for sunburn because it provides instant relief. All you have to do is pop that little green roller into the freezer. You pop it in and out. It's washable. It's so great. You could use it on the kids. The whole family's going to love this one.
Yeah, it's good for boo-boos too. Kids love those cold ice rollers. Okay, but if you bring an umbrella to the beach, Adriana, then you won't get that sunburn, will you?
Exactly. You guys, I have the coolest canopy umbrella right now. It is so awesome. It is a universal sunshade. I have it right here. You can see I popped it open for you guys. It's awesome. It comes with a universal clamp, so you can clamp it onto anything from a beach chair to a bench. You can even clip it onto a golf bag. So Dylan would probably love this one. But what's really great is that it weighs under 2 pounds and you can attach it to anything. So there's no excuse for not getting any shade. It also rotates 360 degrees. It's got these really cool hinges. So you can position it how you need.
How much?
Protection.
All right. Adriana, we got a boogie, but the most important one, the beach blanket that everyone needs, that's sand-free, we're going to put it online.
Yes.
It's important.
All right.
You can also...
Yes, it is an awesome blanket.
Okay, good. You can scan the QR code and just buy it. Go to today.com/shop if you want to do it the old-fashioned way.
Killer Roll, the new podcast from Dateline. Subscribe now wherever you listen.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright.
Half of all U.S. adults now fully vaccinated.
Al is in Cleveland for our Reopening America series.
This is the greatest location in the nation.
Music is back.
Y'all were exactly what we needed.
Our Across America journey here in Louisville, Kentucky. Cleveland, reporting on an America rebuilding after the pandemic.
How narrow a window do you have to really get kids back where we would want them to be?
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
It has been a long year.
Yeah, where it's been anything but normal.
Well, now there's hope. The COVID vaccines.
I know. It's been a little confusing.
Like really confusing.
So it's more important than ever to make a plan. Visit planyourvaccine.com
to find out where and when to get your vaccine.
What are you waiting for? Roll up your sleeves and plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
What's about to happen on our plaza is you're all going to get your very first COVID vaccine.
I'm excited.
She's excited.
3, 2, 1,
Yes! So grateful.
Is that close to prom?
Here we go.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Today Bestsellers is created by Today and promoted by Amazon.
Chassis Post is here with some problem-solving beauty products to help us get through the season. Remember, you can scan the QR code on your screen and get instant access to these buys. Chassis, good morning.
Hey, Chas.
Good morning.
Well, let's start. You've got a 2-in-1 hair tool. Let's hear about it.
Oh, I sure do. Okay, so this is the Revlon hair straightening heated styling brush. And guys, do you remember that cult favorite mega bestseller that pretty much everyone in America had, that Revlon styling brush?
We have it all the time.
Yes.
Right. Well, this is the straightening version, and it is so perfect for summer, and people love it mainly for two reasons. One, it is fast. I mean, in an instant, it'll give you that smooth and sort of straight summer hair look. But number two, it is so easy. I mean, no skill required. If you can use a brush, you can use this styling tool. So who wants to spend time styling their hair in the summer? I want to hit the beach and have great hair anyway. This is amazing.
Well, I don't want big hair. So let's get to the frizz section. This is where we're going. Okay, you have a Miracle on hand, Miracle 10. I've seen this product in the drugstores. I didn't know it worked, so tell us about it.
Yes, it truly is like a little miracle in a bottle. It's called the It's a 10 Miracle Leave-In product. And Hoda, it is like a summer humidity savior. I mean, it fights frizz like a champ, but it's called It's a 10 because it does about 10 things in one. So everything from fighting frizz to help prevent breakage. It's like a detangler. You can use it on wet or dry hair. I mean, I could talk the whole segment about this product alone.
Chassis, let's move on to makeup, though. And, you know, you put on the mascara, and in the summer heat, it just, like, starts running down your face. Never a good look. How do we fix that?
Oh my gosh, people are so obsessed with this mascara. So this is from Essence, and it is called the Lash Princess False Lash Effect Waterproof Mascara. And okay, it's got over 24,000 ratings. One tube of this sells every 90 seconds.
Wow.
And it's the waterproof version of that Lash Princess False Lash Effect that probably you guys have in your makeup bag. And people love it because it gives you this mega volume. I mean, it really does look like you're wearing falsies, the sort of false lash effect. But it is waterproof, which is so key for summer. And then I've got another waterproof little miracle. And so this is a waterproof eyebrow gel. It's from Wonder 2. It's called the Wonder Brow. And I've got to tell you guys, I mean, 27,000 ratings. I mean, people are going nuts over this, mainly because it's perfect for summer. Not only is it waterproof, but it's smudge proof, so it's not going anywhere.
Like, could you go swimming with it?
Yes, it's really not going to go anywhere. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've walked out on, when it gets hot, and my eyebrows have really melted off because I've used,
It happens.
That's
really hot. And one melts off.
I know, isn't that cute, Al? So
So I got to tell you guys, it's so easy. Even I could fill in my sparse little brows.
right.
So people are loving this.
If you want to get that summer glow without damaging your skin, what do you have for us?
Well, I mean, I have probably the most popular self-tanning foam on earth. It's from Bondi Sands.
Not worried about that.
Well, I gotta tell you that one of these little bottles is sold every 9 seconds.
Wow.
This self-tanning foam actually has a social media following over 2 million, and it's the #1 best-selling body self-tanner on Amazon. And people love it because you get this summer glow. It's very natural, but you're not damaging your skin. Plus, it's really, really easy to apply.
How's it
You
smell?
use a little
Yeah,
mitt.
that's the big question.
Oh my gosh.
Fritos.
Do you
No.
like Fritos?
You sure?
No, it smells like summer. I mean, fresh coconuts.
smells like
Most of them smell like Fritos.
Well, Fritos are summer
Fritos
for
would
me,
be
but that's
good.
another story.
It's never streaky. It's never orange.
Chassis,
We're all going to look great this summer.
Chassis, thank you. Thank you so much. Chassis Post. And by the way, you can find more of these Today bestsellers by scanning that QR code right underneath Mr. Roker, or you could do it the old-fashioned way. It's today.com/shop. And a reminder, Amazon has an affiliate relationship with Today, so when you buy a product through our site, Amazon pays Today a small commission on the sale.
I joined Ellen on her set. What's been a difficult year for her personally and for her show.
Very few people go through such huge public humiliation. How can I be an example of strength and perseverance if I give up and run away?
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
It has been a long year.
Yeah, where it's been anything but normal.
Well, now there's hope. The COVID vaccines.
I know. It's been a little confusing.
Like really confusing.
So it's more important than ever to make a plan. Visit planyourvaccine.com
To find out where and when to get your vaccine.
What are you waiting for? Roll up your sleeves and plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Tonight, the CDC's new outdoor mask guidelines. What changed that allowed this new recommendation to be made? If we do nothing, what happens to a city like Houston?
You're going to repeat this movie over and over again.
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
I'm rolling up my sleeves for science, so I'll survive if I contract this virus. For family dinners, family vacations, family anything. For traveling somewhere beyond my living room. And for the Rebels, there is no greater feeling than being in the stadium and cheering on Ole Miss. And now it's your turn. Roll up your sleeves, America. Plan your vaccine, because every shot counts. Visit planyourvaccine.com and make your plan.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app. Killer Roll, the new podcast from Dateline. Subscribe now wherever you listen.
Today Bestsellers is created by Today and promoted by Amazon.
All right, we are back with today's bestsellers this morning. Some of the hottest fashion, yes, more fashion, beauty, and trending items of the month, all under $35.
Here to walk us through all of them is Shop Today editorial director Adriana Brock, and you can see the QR code. It's on the bottom of your screen. You know what to do. You just use your smartphone and you take it and then you buy things. Okay, we are going to start off with a dress that is en fuego. Bell sleeves are in still.
Yes, Hoda, I love it. It is en fuego. We are loving this dress. Everyone's sick of the sweatpants, especially after the Oscars. You know, we're getting a little bit of inspiration to dress up again. Let's embrace some spring florals, some fun, bright prints and colors. We found the perfect dress. It's only $33, and it comes in 35 different patterns. It's such a great transition piece from spring to summer. We're so ready for the warm weather. It is a top seller right now with over 24,000 reviews. It's got a really beautiful, flattering fit, which we can all get behind. It is getting us all really excited to dress up again. I'm ready myself.
Yeah, it looks comfy too. Like you don't have to suck it in too much. Okay, let's talk about something a little bit dressier, dressy lace top flying off the shelves.
Yeah, so you know what? Some of us are still living in our leggings. There's nothing wrong with that, whether it's leggings or a pair of casual jeans. This really cute top is amazing right now. It is super versatile. It has a beautiful lace trim, which is a little dressy, silky fit, very loose. But what we love is that it's a little bit longer. It's a tunic fit, so it's a little bit more forgiving. It's really great. It's just $21, and it comes in a ton of different colors, which we love variety.
Yes, we do. Adriana, let's move on to beauty here because I understand you have a must-have staple.
I have a must-have staple that is an award-winning beauty product that's great. So once you make over your fashion routine for spring, it's time to revamp the beauty routine. And Hoda, I think you know this one. It's a favorite among a lot of people. It's called Olaplex
number three.
Number 3.
No, I know. Girl, I have a gallon of it at my house.
What is it?
What?
Oh, you wait till she tells you.
It is amazing. It is an amazing treatment. Hoda will tell you all about it, but so will I. It repairs damage. It protects hair color. It's great for strengthening hair. It's kind of a great, easy makeover to give your hair right now. If you're ready to ditch the ponytail, do your hair again, get glammed up, a little bit goes a long way.
What's it
and
do?
It's so popular. I mean, it's not
Makes
a
your
new
hair
product,
strong.
but it's such a bestseller that it's the #1 best-selling hair and scalp treatment right now.
Is it a
Can I tell you
moisturizer?
I just got
something?
the
You know
QR
what it
code
does?
for
You know
it.
what it does? You actually feel physically your hair feels different. After you put it in, you rinse it, and you put
What do you mean
shampoo.
it feels bionic? Like
No,
what?
you feel
shampoo
the
it.
texture
It
feels
says it
different.
makes your hair, like makes
Yes,
it
you wash it
strong. Like
after.
if you have split ends, it's
Yes.
supposed to repair it. You put it in, you leave it in,
It
right?
feels silky when you're
so
done.
shampoo and a conditioner.
No,
I mean, I just
you
bought
put
it.
on, then you
Separate.
shampoo, and you
You
can
guys-
Put on.
I used it last night.
Yes.
I feel like $1 million
Yeah.
bucks.
Looks like
It's like a
Another
once a
beauty
week
tool.
deal.
once a
Okay.
week.
Got
All
it.
right.
What
I
you-
just bought it for Siri. I'll get the
Okay.
QR code. She'll
What
try
else
it
we
out
got?
for us. So blotting sheets. Not sure what they are, but I understand now with warmer temperatures, you have a replacement.
Yeah, so Carson, whether you wear makeup or not, actually, this little tiny tool is blowing up all over TikTok right now. It's the Revlon Volcanic Stone Reusable Oil Absorbing Roller. Try to say that 3 times in a row. It's got a porous texture, this little stone that's inside, which is going to help absorb excess oil. Really great for makeup touch-ups. But even if you don't wear makeup, a lot of us are wearing our face masks out and about, and it's getting warmer out there. So you might have a little bit of a muggy situation, a little bit of oily skin. This is so easy to use. Let me show you. All you have to do is uncap it. You roll it around your face. There's no color, nothing. And it's going to get rid of all the oily skin.
Do you have to clean it?
All right.
It's like for sweaty faces, but do you have to like
Very
clean
cool.
it after every use?
Yes.
Okay.
It's so easy to clean. You just pop it open. You use a little bit of soap and water, and it's good as new. It's really great. It's
Hey, last,
reusable.
last thing, Adriana, you got something that's blown up TikTok, but they're 2 different things?
Yeah, so Today.com editors, we love finding stuff all over social media, and we found 2 really unique and bizarre bestsellers that we are obsessed with right now. The first one is a can opener. It's the #1 electric can opener right now, and you guys are probably thinking, like, what's so great about this? It's really compact. It's battery operated.
Oh my gosh.
And all you have to do is push a single button to get it to work. And what's really awesome is that it crimps the edges for you, so no sharp edges. I really love it. I think it's really great for people. Yeah,
Can it open
it's really
wine?
awesome. It's great if you have like arthritis in the hand or maybe a hand injury.
What a good
Also
idea.
really great if you have
Great.
kids in the kitchen who want to help. Really awesome find. And then the second one, last but not least, is the Tea Turtle Octopus Plushie. This is the hottest toy of 2021. It's been perpetually sold out, but we found a few in stock. It is as simple as an emoji. It really shows off your mood in a really fun way. Kids and adults love it. It has 29.5 million views on TikTok. Here, let me show you. So this is the happy side.
Right.
You're feeling a little crabby or grumpy. You put it on the sad side. It's so silly, but it's so fun, and it's the #1 best-selling
We need one for
stuffed
this
animal
set.
right now.
Yeah. Leave it on the blue.
So you only get the 2 emotional choices?
That's it. That's all you got.
You
Happy
only
or
get 2,
grumpy.
but
Yeah.
you can choose a bunch of different colors.
And you can also use it as a face blotter, too. So that's,
Adriana,
Thank you.
thank you
Thank
for
you.
everything. We appreciate it. You can access these great deals by scanning that QR code that Hoda so eloquently said at the beginning of the segment. You can just go to today.com/shop. And as a reminder, Amazon has an affiliate relationship with Today. When you buy a product through our site, Amazon does pay Today a small commission.
I'm rolling up my sleeves for science, so I'll survive if I contract this virus. For family dinners, family vacations, family anything. For traveling somewhere beyond my living room. And for the rebels, There is no greater feeling than being in the stadium and cheering on Ole Miss. And now it's your turn. Roll up your sleeves, America. Plan your vaccine, because every shot counts. Visit planyourvaccine.com and make your plan.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright.
Half of all U.S. adults now fully vaccinated.
Al is in Cleveland for our Reopening America series.
This is the greatest location in the nation.
Music is back.
Y'all were exactly what we needed.
I'm rolling up my sleeves for science, so I'll survive if I contract this virus. For family dinners, family vacations, family anything. For traveling somewhere beyond my living room. And for the Rebels, there is no greater feeling than being in the stadium and cheering on Ole Miss. And now it's your turn. Roll up your sleeves, America. Plan your vaccine, because every shot counts. Visit planyourvaccine.com and make your plan.
Congratulations to Lester Holt, the most trusted TV news anchor in America, on receiving the prestigious Edward R. Murrow Lifetime Achievement Award for a career dedicated to excellence in journalism.
Today Bestsellers is created by Today and promoted by Amazon.
Yahoo contributing editor Chassie Post joins us with some of the season's highest-rated items in fashion and beauty, all boasting thousands of online reviews.
And don't forget, if you want to get in on the action, the QR code is at the bottom of your screens. You can shop along with us. Chassie, good morning. You always find good stuff. And at the
good morning.
Hi. And at the top of your list, a floral bohemian midi dress. Which just, I think Jenna Bush Hager is ordering it right now. That's like so her vibe. Tell us about it.
Guys, I have serious FOMO. And when I found out that thousands and thousands of shoppers were obsessed with this dress, I had to get in on it. 5,700 reviews. And here is why people love it. This dress is the new yoga pant. But it's even more comfortable. It's that nightgown dress trend that everybody is loving, which means it's as comfy as a nightgown, but you can go out in public and look totally pulled together. And look, it's got 42 fabulous prints.
Wow.
And it sizes extra small through 2XL. And I've seen versions of this for over $200. It's just $24.99.
Wow,
I'm
that's
obsessed.
a good deal. You have a brand that is also back, I guess.
Yes, and that is Lee, the denim brand Lee. Their denim jackets. Carson, people are passionate about this denim jacket. Over 13,000 reviews. And you're going to see brands like Jordache and Levi's, classic denim brands from the 80s and 90s having a moment. But they have lots of different washes. But I think my favorite thing about this jacket is it comes in a white denim. I am not squeezing into my white jeans just yet, guys. So this might be my new spring staple, and it starts at just $29.98.
Wear it with the dress.
Yes.
I think it's a perfect fit. All right, let's go down to our toes. You got some slides that people are going to want.
Oh my gosh, Hoda, it turns out that I'm not the only one obsessed with a sparkle slip-on. 2,400 people have reviewed these little slides, and they are just happy feet. I mean, they're so comfy, they're sparkly, but if sparkles aren't your thing, they've got a neutral, and they're just $19.99.
Ooh, let's try to squeeze in some more here. Moving on to accessories. So many of us carry those big old heavy tote bags. Are we moving on from that?
Oh, Chanel, no need. I mean, you guys, you got to get on this. Don't be tardy to the party with this great little wallet wristlet. Oh my gosh, what people love is you can fit all your credit cards, wallet stuff, and even your phone and a lipstick. And then you zip it out. It's like a wallet and a clutch all in one, all sorts of fun spring colors. 38,000 people have written reviews on this, and it's just $16.99.
That's a good deal.
There you go, not bad.
Okay.
And the next trend, we all love this, the layering of the necklaces.
Oh,
Yes.
love.
Okay.
Just talking about that.
Okay, guys, you won't believe this. So we are talking about the look for less. And when I say less, it's under $10.
Wow.
6,700 people have written reviews about this awesome large initial necklace. And you guys know how expensive personalized jewelry can be. Plus, this can get to you in 2 days.
Wow. Do you have a C, like a big
I like the large.
a manly gold chain for my friend Carson here?
Hey, the rope.
Exactly.
Shout out Run DMC.
He's mad he can't wear the moo-moo, so we need
I'll
something
wear it.
here. All right, let's talk about beauty. Now, here's something we could all use, especially those of us deep into middle age and we can't see anymore. A vanity light, like mirror with the vanity lights?
I feel you, Savannah. And guess what? 24,000 shoppers do as well. I mean, they took the time to write 24,000 reviews on this vanity mirror with light. And check it out. You turn on a little light so you can actually see what you're doing, and it has up to 3 times magnification. I'm up to 2.75 on my reader, so this comes in handy. And it closes down to the size of a little iPad. And last but not least, I got to tell you guys about this modern miracle. So we're putting makeup on. To take it off, you guys have to try out the makeup eraser. Okay, 8,600 shoppers have tried this out, and they're obsessed. All you do is you take this little cloth, you add water, and it removes even the most stubborn makeup, even waterproof mascara.
What's on there?
Yeah.
It is a proprietary fabric.
You put water on it and it just goes away.
Gosh.
Vanishes.
Oh my gosh, it just goes away.
How do you
and
wash
it's like
it?
a soft.
Is it a big pain?
Well,
You
it's
gotta
like
wash
a
it every
soft
day?
Oh no, it is not a big pain. I just used it last night to get my war paint off my face, and I gotta say, it was fresh for this morning.
Wow.
And it comes in really cute colors. And check it out, it comes.
Really quickly,
it
how
comes
much
like
is
a little eraser.
How much?
$20 and 8,600 reviews.
I'll buy one for my
Never-ending
car.
face wipe. There you go.
Thanks, Jazz.
Good stuff this morning. Thank you.
Thanks,
We want to
guys.
remind you that Amazon has an affiliate relationship with Today. So when you buy an Amazon product through our site, Amazon pays Today a small commission. And to shop these bestsellers, you can scan that QR code or head to today.com/shop.
Food, in a way, unlocks a lot of stories.
It's this emotional connection that we get through eating that food that is really irreplaceable.
My name is Chitra Agarwal. I'm a co-founder at Brooklyn Deli, where we make sauces and condiments inspired by my family's recipes from India.
My name is Katevi, and I'm the chef and owner of Dumpling Club, a weekly subscription service that features a rotating menu of dumplings and Asian dishes.
I started Brooklyn Deli in 2014. Our first products at Brooklyn Deli were my achars, which are a staple Indian condiment. They're kind of like this spicy, sour, a little bit sweet. So you add just a little bit and it kind of just makes the dish like amazing. I developed a lot of the recipes for achar using what I was getting in my farm share. So I was making achar from heirloom tomatoes, garlic, gooseberries. I wouldn't say that it's authentic Indian food. It's very much inspired by my heritage, but it's authentic to me.
My grandfather comes from a region in northern China that specializes in dumplings. And to him, dumplings were the perfect food, the best food. I use all sorts of influences in the dumplings. For example, influences from my husband's Austrian side. That's not traditionally how dumplings would be made. I'm learning to be really comfortable with that. In the beginning, I felt like that wasn't truly authentic. But I actually now feel that that's very authentic to me and my experience.
A labor of love learned from generations before them.
The plating sort of represents on the outside the amount of care that's been put into this food. Whenever we made them as a family, seeing the pleats that my mom or that my grandfather added to the dumplings would remind me that they were the ones who prepared this food for me.
My father's mother, we were just very close. I can still remember the food that she would give me. I can still taste it. They're kind of like food memories from when I was really young, and those continued on as I visited her every year in India. Every trip, we would be in the kitchen.
Growing up, we didn't have regular access to Asian grocery, but I learned about the importance of food from my mom. She would use spaghetti whenever she was making stir-fried noodles. Her creativity, that creative spirit that she had when it came to replicating her home food through whatever ingredients that she had on hand, that's what I feel really inspired by.
Both women left stable jobs for their culinary careers.
It was a really scary time because, I had been working for over a decade in positions where I had benefits, I had an ongoing salary that I could count on.
I left Google in the fall of 2019, and already that year I was starting to make dumplings, send them around to friends and family, and when I decided to really start in earnest was in February 2020, conveniently 1 month before the pandemic hit and everything shut down. I didn't have a steady job or an income at that time, and whenever I had a spare moment, I'd fold dumplings, and then I would stay up all hours editing footage and putting it up on Instagram, and we were just trying to survive.
Despite the pandemic, their businesses not only survived, but thrived.
Our public sales tend to sell out within a few minutes. One time it sold out in less than a minute.
For us, it's been great because more people want to try the flavors that we're putting out there and want to learn more about Indian food and culture. Everything that I really learned how to make, I learned from different family members. So I feel like, in some sense, the Brooklyn Deli recipes also are a way for our family recipes to kind of live on.
When my parents came to the States, they really came here with nothing. And I'm super cognizant of that now, that it's a huge privilege to be able to do what I love, to go after what I love. And that has come from years of sacrifice and hard work from my parents. And knowing that, I want to take that privilege and make sure that I do something really positive with it.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright.
Half of all U.S. adults now fully vaccinated.
Al is in Cleveland for our Reopening America series.
This is the greatest location in the nation.
Music is back.
Y'all were exactly what we needed.
Right now on NBC News Now.
Here in Chicago, about 20,000 middle schoolers returning to school today. They also took advantage of existing vaccine distribution networks throughout Alaska.
It does seem as if this White House doesn't want to bring a lot of high-profile attention to the issue. What efforts might depoliticize vaccine hesitancy? What happens if we don't act on police reform this year? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Congratulations to Lester Holt, the most trusted TV news anchor in America, on receiving the prestigious Edward R. Murrow Lifetime Achievement Award for a career dedicated to excellence in journalism.
Hong Kong traditional wontons are made with a smear of pork and lots of shrimp, usually bite-sized.
The wonton across Asian culture is wrapped in history and family secrecy, recipes often going back generations.
My mom always knew I wanted to open a restaurant. I was always saving money to open a restaurant. I didn't know what kind of food I was going to make or whatever, but I just knew it was going to happen.
Maxi Lau's parents wanted to open one too, but without a family recipe of their own, they turned to a friend.
She was 49 at the time. She and my dad went to Toronto to learn from their family friend. It was like a secret family recipe that they don't share with anyone.
Her parents soon returned, ready and eager to open a restaurant.
Told me that, we think we found it, but, we gotta negotiate and, see where it goes. And then a couple of months after, my mom was diagnosed with cancer. And that was that. I was there for every appointment, every chemo session, every radiation session, everything. Yeah. It's mom. You gotta take care of mom. You know, like she, sorry, I get a little bit, whew. I was very, very close with my mom. I did everything for my mom, from the medicine, what she's allergic to, all her appointments, it's like embedded in my brain. My mom passed away a week after my 28th birthday. I was on leave of absence from work, and I was like, maybe it's time that, you know, that restaurant dream that I always wanted, you know, to happen, maybe, you know, I should put into place.
As family and friends called in to check on Maxie, one had a familiar invite.
A family that trained my mom, they did say, hey, listen, if you're willing, want to learn how to make wontons and dumplings and stuff, you know, we're more than happy to teach you. I almost like dropped the phone, and I'm like, what? They don't just teach anybody. I just took it like right there and then, and I'm like, yes, yes, yes.
Maxie flew to Toronto just like her mom had done before. Her first lesson? Wrapping wontons for hours on end.
I remember my trainer, he told me, he was like, I don't think you're gonna make it. You know, it's been 2 weeks and you can't even wrap a wonton. Maybe you should just go home. I wanted to cry. And I was like, no matter what, Maxie, you get it together. You wrap those wontons, you make it happen. I'm an expert now, wrapping wontons.
Maxie spent months perfecting her skills, mastering wontons and more.
I came home and I told my dad, I'm ready. We're gonna find a restaurant and open. And he said, you're crazy. First of all, I need to speak with your seafood and find out where you're at, because the last time I spoke with you, you were cutting scallions for like a month.
Her dad came up with an idea to borrow her aunt's bakery, so by night, she transformed that space into Maxie's Noodle.
Like a one-man band. I was in the front, I was in the back, I was cooking, I was prepping, I did everything.
Word of mouth spread quickly around town, eventually to a New York Times food critic.
I was super proud, and I was like, oh, mom's proud too. I always like have that feeling like mom's looking down. I think magically, like when mom left, she sprinkled some like special powder on me to make me look at it in like a whole different perspective. Don't be depressed. I'm gone. I'm in a better place. I'm not here, but I'm always here in a way.
Today, Maxie has opened her own restaurant, making her own memories surrounded by old ones.
The scientific breakthrough that helped create today's COVID vaccines was unlocked here at the University of Pennsylvania by two unassuming scientists. For years, their work went unnoticed and dismissed.
Talk to me about how skeptical people were about the value of RNA.
I don't know, did we listen to them? Not really,
I mean, everybody was skeptical, but we didn't care.
Born in Hungary, one of two daughters of a butcher, Dr. Katie Kuriko came to the U.S. to pursue science in the 1980s. But by 1998, her funding at the University of Pennsylvania dried up.
I tried to get grants, but I couldn't get the grants, and so I was not promoted.
Faced with losing her faculty job, she met Dr. Drew Weissman, who was photocopying journal articles in this building.
We would fight over the photocopier, and that's how we met.
And what did you see in Dr. Kuriko?
When Katie and I would sit and talk, we just kept thinking of more and more things that we could do, and it kept us going, in the face of all of the setbacks.
He worked on vaccines. She worked on messenger RNA. Together, they found a way to create a vaccine that got past the body's defenses, but still prompted the immune system to make antibodies to fight disease.
Physically, we were shoulder to shoulder at the bench. And Drew was working on the cell, I was making the RNA. And so it was very joyful, shoulder to shoulder collaboration.
Dr. Weissman, how did the breakthrough eventually become acknowledged and become the vaccines that have saved millions and millions of people and potentially billions of people?
We're laughing because we're remembering how bad it was. In 2005, we published our paper that's now considered, the game changer that identified modified RNA.
But the acclaim didn't come.
They really didn't care about it, and it wasn't until around 2008, 2009, when people started to see the potential.
So from 1998 to 2008, 2009, all those years, you were in the wilderness.
Just to give a talk, or?
Took another 10 years.
Now their discovery is leading to even more vaccines for AIDS, Ebola, Zika.
It's truly a plug and play. You can take out one coding sequence and put in anything you want. So it takes you a couple weeks to make a new vaccine.
And now they're talking about a Nobel Prize. How does that make you feel?
I don't think about that I will get it. It is like I focused always on the work, and that's what excites me. No, what do you think?
I mean, we both share that. So my family always gets mad at me because they want to talk about the great success that we've had. But I've already moved on to the next thing.
Today, a crowd of students follow them, asking for pictures. Carico reminds them that glory is not the true reward.
You have to enjoy, so that it is very important that you have to be happy when you are doing these things.
And the joy of discovery.
Yes.
Dr. Carico was recently honored in her native Hungary, and after years in the academic wilderness, she is a scientific rock star. She and her teammate, Dr. Weissman, remain completely unaffected, amazingly humble. They've already moved on, as he says, to search for new discoveries, for the joy of it, and the benefit of untold numbers of people around the world.
Oh, what a duo. It's incredible to think about them toiling away, no one believing this little idea that they had, and 15 years later, they're saving the world, literally.
Exactly. And a lot of it, the skepticism was she was onto something, and she was a woman, and she just was not taken seriously.
No, but wow. Andrea, what a story. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright. We're going to do our part and get vaccinated live.
A very special naturalization ceremony.
This is a really inspiring group. Celebrating Earth Day. Let's change the world. Love it!
What's about to happen on our plaza is you're all going to get your very first COVID vaccine.
I'm excited.
She's excited. 3, 2, 1,
Tammy! So grateful.
Is that close to crying?
Here we go.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm rolling up my sleeves for science, so I'll survive if I contract this virus. For family dinners, family vacations, family anything. For traveling somewhere beyond my living room. And for the Rebels, there is no greater feeling than being in the stadium and cheering on Ole Miss. And now it's your turn. Roll up your sleeves, America. Plan your vaccine, because every shot counts. Visit planyourvaccine.com and make your plan.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
What's about to happen on our plaza is you're all going to get your very first COVID vaccine.
I'm excited.
She's excited. 3, 2, 1, Tammy!
So grateful.
Is that close to crying?
Here we go.
Killer Roll, the new podcast from Dateline. Subscribe now wherever you listen.
At the start of the pandemic, as cities shut down across the country, these 3 women carried on at work, at home, and on the road. Meet Kiersey Rothlander, who travels across the country as a professional truck driver for a Missouri-based company. Mail carrier Jacinia Santiago is a mother of 1 from Massachusetts. And Morgan Arledge, a line cook at a restaurant in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Tell me what it was like. The country goes into lockdown those first few weeks. What was it like for you?
I was honestly a little bit jealous of people who got to stay home, at least for the first few months, but I also struggled with this feeling of I need to be grateful that I get to continue to work and get to continue to have that money coming in.
I would leave my child with her grandma, and then I would go pick her up. There's no hugging, there's no kissing, there's no playing.
First thing I popped into my head was, I can't go home now. You don't want to go home and risk infecting somebody. It's a mental struggle, and just our needs weren't met. They had the PPE, the face mask. We didn't, and we couldn't get them from anywhere. So we were using T-shirts. Then you're taking paper towels and rolling them up and putting rubber bands on.
There would be some people who would say, you know what, forget this. I'll just go home and wait it out. What made you decide to keep working?
Honestly, I considered just quitting my company, and I said, if everybody just goes home, who's going to eat?
You will get your medication, I promise you. You will get your food and water, I promise you.
And there are people who are getting too close, or they're refusing to wear masks.
There have been multiple guests who have come into our restaurant and they don't want to wear a mask. Our managers confront them, and people are just irate about it.
COVID-19 hasn't just affected their jobs, it's hit their families hard, too. Morgan, I know in September, your grandfather got sick with COVID and passed just a few weeks later, which is just heartbreaking to hear.
It's hard. I have to keep going for my daughter. I have to keep going to work every day. I didn't have an opportunity to really sit back and process my loss and my grief.
And last March, Villaseñor was among 8 people in her family who had coronavirus all at once.
It was scary. It was like every day someone was positive until all 8 of us were positive. And it's just me and my little one, my 3-year-old at home.
They say sometimes when it rains, it pours. And Villaseñor, I know you and your daughter found yourself in a place where you were without a home in December after an apartment fire.
In my head, I'm like, again, something else again, but always keeping forward.
I mean, with everything that you've been through, you're still smiling in this moment. What gives you that smile?
I'm grateful to have a job, to be working. There could be worse, right?
Let's talk about mental health. Is it a challenge sometimes doing all of this in the midst of a pandemic?
It was challenging to begin with, but putting the pandemic on top of that, yeah, absolutely. There are days that I struggle to get up sometimes, just crippling grief.
You kind of isolate yourself, which is difficult, and it can be depressing for truck drivers because we are in our trucks like 20-something hours a day to begin with.
Is there anything that makes you feel better?
A lot of the trucking companies start setting up employee assistant programs that you could give a call, and it really helps.
Do you feel like there's a light at the end of the tunnel?
I think if everybody does their part and gets the vaccine, then we'll be on the other side of this soon.
What do you say when people say the 3 of you and so many others are heroes?
I personally don't feel like a hero. I'm doing what I have to do for myself and for my family and to keep my job. It's hard for me to accept that title.
I don't see myself as a hero.
It's other essential workers. It's you guys who are out and doing the work that needs to be done. Do you ever let that sink in, that it's just the work must continue?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I don't feel like a hero. This is my chosen profession, and we have to do our job.
I really enjoyed my chat with those women. It's like you said, we do a lot of celebrities and and others on this show, but just real women day in and day out. And again, especially in those early days when everybody was home and we were depending on all those delivery drivers, they're delivering food, our mail. So
I don't care what they say, they're heroes.
Kudos to them.
I joined Ellen on her set. What's been a difficult year for her personally and for her show.
Very few people go through such huge public humiliation. How can I be an example of strength and perseverance if I give up and run away?
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright.
Are you ready? Half of all U.S. adults now fully vaccinated.
A huge lift is underway for one of the most celebrated cities in this country, Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes. This is the greatest location in the nation.
We're having a baby.
Wow.
The big reveal is under the lid.
Hey now.
Things are looking brighter, so we want to help you find the fun in 21.
Music is back. Y'all were exactly what we needed.
Right now on NBC News Now.
Here in Chicago, about 20,000 middle schoolers returning to school today. They also took advantage of existing vaccine distribution networks throughout Alaska.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright.
Are you ready? Half of all U.S. adults now fully vaccinated.
A huge lift is underway for one of the most celebrated cities in this country, Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes. This is the greatest location in the nation.
We're having a baby.
Wow.
The big reveal is under the lid.
Hey now.
Things are looking brighter, so we want to help you find the fun in 21. Music is back.
Y'all were exactly what we needed.
I want every woman to understand that they have something to give.
Tara Alexander is a New Orleans native who has a passion for ministry and music. But she says her biggest joy is helping other women succeed.
I will always say my mom's one of the best people I have ever known. She has, as long as I can remember, been doing outreaches for people and for women. I learned how to serve community and how to empower other people, I believe, from those who came before me. My mother is absolutely my greatest example in that, because my mom worked at Tulane School of Business, and she would encourage the professors to come to the community at the church to give free grant writing classes. I was a child in those classes.
Tara created Shiro in 2015 to empower women to build their businesses through workshops and networking events.
I realized that there were so many of my friends who are just brilliant, and I wanted to put them all in the room so we could exchange strengths in order to make a bigger impact in our communities. I got the word Shiro from my daughter. She was writing a paper in school, and she said, "My mom is my Shiro."
Tara held her first conference in a church. Today, it reaches 600 women all over the United States.
We empower women to impact community. They use their skills, their gifts, their talents, and the things that they've been blessed with to be a blessing to others.
I don't think there's anything that a woman can't do.
Rosalind Woodfox attended her first Shiro conference 2 years ago.
It doesn't matter if you're a stay-at-home mom, you're important. And if you are the one that's running the business, you can take those gifts to help someone else.
Alita Butler Blue has held many jobs, from waitress to caregiver, but Tara encouraged Alita to dream big and start her own catering business.
She literally came to our house and sat me down at the same computer we're on right now and walked us through every step of the way. And anytime she would have an event, she would have us be a vendor at the event, pushing our business. When nobody was behind us, she always was there for us.
Tara was also there for Alita when she lost her daughter to COVID.
My sisters and Shiro really been a blessing, to us. We really stick together, just encouraging each other. If you're going through something, you got a sister you could call.
Janae Webster is a pageant queen. She won the crown for Miss Black America Louisiana in 2017. Today, Janae gives back with her nonprofit, Women Sharpen Women. She provides resources to single mothers and mentors to children.
So Ms. Tara is very supportive. She is someone who sees the best in you, and not only sees it, but she supports it and makes sure you understand whatever you have to give in this world. Make sure it's not just for yourself, but you're also uplifting your community as well.
What makes me excited is that I get to see women who have gifts and skills that they've been keeping to themselves, share it and come alive. So that's why I push women, because when we push one woman, we can change a whole generation.
We're so happy.
Tara is here with her daughter, Tiara, who's the program development director for Shiro. Oh my God, look, I'm a proud New Orleanian in my soul. I'm a little prouder in this moment. Y'all are rocking it. Tara, why, look, a lot of people would have had their success and said, well, good for me. Why are you spending so much time paying it forward?
First of all, I want to say thank you for having me here. I am just excited to be here, and this is an honor. I get to give, and I had to think about this long and hard. I thought it was just because I wanted my smart friends in the room, but in all actuality, our why is so much bigger than our want. What I believe is that I've been blessed to be a blessing, and one of those blessings is that God spared my life. He allowed me to just live and to be able to do the things that I dreamt about doing from a child. And what I wanted to do was make sure that people around me had that opportunity to dream, because your dream can bring you through so much. I had a challenge in my own health some years ago, and I decided to live on purpose, and I wanted everybody around me to live on purpose.
Tiara, what's it like watching your mom? And I know you're following in her footsteps.
It is incredible. My mom is one of my favorite people in the world, and she's just so much fun to watch and to emulate.
Well, you know what, Tara, we got a little surprise for you. We talked to a few people whose lives you changed, but we have a few more who just wanted to wave and say, hey, 30 more women who wanted to say thank you. Every single person on this big board you helped throughout the years. They're all together. They got signs of love.
Yeah, and one of those women we want to spotlight is Tracy Scott. She was in a homeless shelter for 7 months, and you helped her through that time. Tracy, hey.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Tracy. What
Hi,
does
guys.
this woman right there mean to you?
Life, everything. She taught us how to give, no matter where you are, give. And I met her at a pivotal moment in my life when I really needed someone to look into who I really was. I didn't know who I was. I had a lot of hurt going on through my divorce and everything, living in a homeless shelter, didn't have a job. And the second week of being there, I met her. I listened to everything that she had to say, and she took me out of the state of mind that I was in, where I felt helpless. And I learned how to give back to the women in the shelter. And giving back to the women in the shelter, she taught me that when you're hurt, you can only give hurt. But when you're healed, you can only help others to heal. And that's something that I'll remember for the rest of my life. And I want to thank you, Tara, because you taught me how to help women to heal. Right now, I'm sitting with a young lady who is an entrepreneur. And it was because you saw something in me that I could give back to others. And now I don't only just give to entrepreneurs, I help homeless women who don't have money to pay for a night in a shelter. It's all because you taught me how to give from within, and I appreciate you so much.
We are Tara, we are so moved. Look what you've done. You've created a circle of love and giving.
And in addition to all this, Tara, you and your lovely daughter, I just clicked on iTunes, and your music is all over that too. Your beautiful, heavenly music is all over iTunes. You're spreading your goodness everywhere.
Hey, Craig, look, it's some of our favorite people, our Today All Day viewers. We hope y'all are having a great Thursday.
Welcome to our little digital